I have a city in the desert. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 826. The Backer has fallen. At the end of summer, the people in the south of the Akan had completed their migration plan. The people of Kari City also returned to Kari City. Malacca has gathered refugees from Lamoran and Tasker in its refugee area. Because of the integration of refugees from all over the country, Malacca City has become the largest city in the Akhanet. It is the second largest city in the Sahara region after the future city, and its population has exceeded 23 million. With the arrival of autumn, the Sahara region, which has been free of war for a long time, has slowly regained its vitality. Autumn is the peak season for tourism. Jiang Chen has also specially built several new tourist attractions with war as the theme. For example, the US Fireworks Tourism Base. The Fireworks Tourism Base is located in the south of Kanishan City, where 1,000 coalition aircraft crashed. It is also the Patriotic Education Base in the Sahara region, set up by Jiang Chen. In addition, Jiang Chen also turned the Lamoran ruins and Tasker ruins into nuclear ruins scenic spots. Jiang Chen absorbed nuclear radiation by planting lawns. A memorial hall was built next to the nuclear site scenic area. There is a screening room in the memorial hall. The screening room plays videos of the high-rise buildings in Lamoran and Tasker before they were destroyed by the coalition forces, as well as the desperate videos of the people facing the disaster during the destruction. Jiang Chen did not plan to rebuild Tasker and Lamoran. He just spent a lot of money to plant a kind of grass that can absorb nuclear radiation around the two cities. 2 months later, the 3 war tourism bases were officially open to the public. At the same time, Jiang Chen announced that the 3 tourism bases would be permanently open to the Akhanet and the Saka people for free. In early autumn, after such a long delay, Jiang Chen was ready to sell the house in Akhanet and head to the desert. After all, the winter storm is coming soon. He has a strong premonition that this winter storm will definitely be more than 10 times stronger than usual. In such a winter storm, the Saka region has a barrier to block it. But what about Malacca and Budo? They can only bite the bullet and face the test of the desert. So Jiang Chen is ready to sell the house in Akhanet to buy enough food and bottled water for the 2 cities so that they can block the coming of the storm at home. Speaking of selling houses, Jiang Chen was ready to start another live broadcast. The live broadcast was chosen on the weekend evening. After the previous publicity, Jiang Chen had just opened the live broadcast room, and nearly 700 million people had gathered in his live broadcast room. In this war, Sahara Live is a rare beneficiary. In order to watch Jiang Chen's live broadcast, media, organizations, and people from all over the world have registered accounts for Sahara Live. So now Sahara Live has become a super software with nearly 3.6 billion registered users. Its market value has once reached $130 billion, and its stock has a trend of rising sharply. Silent water, the anchor is on the air. It can withstand the attack of a Tyrannosaurus Rex level country like the United States. The anchor is really awesome. Kai Chidung, how can this be described as awesome? This is simply a hero in Central Asia. You drove away the US coalition forces, and the Central Asian countries finally don't have to be in chaos. After several fans finished speaking, Jiang Chen sighed. How can world stability be so simple? After the United States was driven away, the Rosa Kingdom came. If people in the desert want to truly stand up, the road ahead is long and uncertain. Let's not talk about this issue. I have an important announcement to make during the live broadcast today. Jiang Chen finished speaking, and soon the media in the live broadcast room came out. Being news. Are you going to fight back against the coalition forces? What is the probability of winning with your current strength? Pacific News. After the Desert War, the economies of many coalition countries collapsed completely, and they had to pay nearly $50 billion in war reparations. What do you think? Global Times. A large number of elite soldiers of the Cold Tide country died in the desert. What do you think about the Saharan region? After a bunch of reporters finished speaking, Jiang Chen couldn't even sell his house. Does their economic collapse and need to pay war reparations have anything to do with me? Did he pay me war reparations? Did he compensate the Free Army and the people who were deeply hurt by them? They have nothing. So, the war of the invading army against the country of Rosa is over, but for us, it will never end. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, the media stopped talking. Who will care about those who had their legs and arms blown off in the war? All the prostheses they installed in the hospital were paid by Sahara, and they did not receive a dime of compensation from the United States and its coalition forces. Global Times. What do you think of the future of the country of Han Cheo? Does his future have anything to do with me? You should ask Cui Cheng Heo about this question rather than me. In addition, Cui Cheng Heo must have prepared the answer. You should ask it now. Don't waste time. Okay, don't talk to me about the war now. They have already wiped their asses and left. I need to make money. I need to treat the injured Afghans for free. I need to give them cotton clothes and build schools for them. So, don't ask about other things, okay? After Jiang Chen finished speaking, the reporters finally changed the subject. East Asia News. You have cut off the water supply to the Afghan Youth Army government for 3 months. After OSHA provided free aid for a month, the water supply to the youth army was cut off due to the high transportation costs and the transport plane crash. Now the youth army can only buy water from Pakistan at a high price. Pakistan's water resources are not abundant. A bottle of water that costs 1 yuan in China is now sold for 100 million yuan. Will you change your strategy? East Asia News finished speaking, and the Global Times followed up. Global Times. Russia evacuated the Akhanik state last month. The Akhanik Youth Army is unable to resist the attack of the winter storm under the extreme water shortage. Will you show mercy and accept them like the widows of the Southern Government Army? After the Global Times finished speaking, the Pakistani Ministry of Foreign Affairs also asked questions. Pakistani Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The Akhanik Youth Army requested to join the Desert Alliance, but Mayor Sahara has refused many times. According to the Desert Alliance's commitment, he is already under the threat of the desert. Therefore, we request to allow the Akhanik Youth Army to join the Desert Alliance. After the Pakistani Ministry of Foreign Affairs finished speaking, Jiang Chen shook his head and refused. He still remembered how the leader of the youth army looked down on him with the support of putity. I said that, if you want to join the Desert Alliance and get our green grass subsidy plan, you must be a complete country. Akhanat, we only recognize the leader of the Free Army, Omara, who fought the invading army to the end. The youth army is just a puppet raised by the Rosa state to plunder war reparations. Now that the Rosa state thinks they are of no use, do I have to be the scapegoat? What's more, 90% of the population of the Akhanat is concentrated in Malacca and Budo City. Do you think Malacca can represent the Akhanat or the youth army can represent the Akhanat? After Jiang Chen finished speaking, the Pakistani Ministry of Foreign Affairs sighed. Pakistani Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I'm sorry, but in the spirit of humanitarianism, I think the Sahara region, which has more water resources, should rescue them. World Red Cross, please ask the Sahara region to provide the youth army with necessary water support. This is a request based on world humanitarianism rather than national disputes. Global Times. The young soldiers are also human beings. Although they did wrong things and were abandoned by their masters, the southern government forces of the Akhanat were once your enemies, and you accepted them. Why don't you help the abandoned young soldiers? Chapter 827. Unknown creatures in the desert. A group of people persuaded him, and the foreign ministries of several countries also asked Jiang Chen to give them assistance. They believed that Jiang Chen was just and benevolent, and that Firosa and the US coalition forces were only trying to plunder resources. Jiang Chen sighed. He knew that there was nothing he could do about such a bad neighbor. Since everyone is begging for them, then I agree. However, I will not have any substantial dealings with such two-faced people. Our dealings are limited to business. I can let the Budo branch of the Kari City Drinking Water Group sell domestic water to the youth army. My water price is comparable to that of oil. If you want to do this business, do it. If you don't want to do my business, find another company to do it. I don't owe them anything, and I'm not their father. I have no obligation to take care of them. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, the water issue was over. Jiang Chen would let several newly settled oil companies in the world's top 100 take over the oil they extracted. The oil belongs to the oil company, and the oil company will convert it into money and deliver it to the Cary City Drinking Water Group. The Drinking Water Group will then use the money for economic construction in the Cary City area. That's it. Okay, now I'm going to announce something to everyone. Houses in Athens City are officially for sale. Those who are interested can apply to the Athens City Immigration Bureau now, and the application deadline is the 2nd of next month. As soon as Jiang Chen announced the sale of houses in Athens City, the news soon exploded in groups of various countries, and more people flocked to Jiang Chen's live broadcast room. Lisbon Leo Wang, damn, I just checked the Athens City Immigration Network, 100,000 per square meter, are you kidding me? Jin dashing, haha, only ghosts would buy 100,000 per square meter. The life of a tramp, the house in Beijing, is only this price. Cheyenne Benzira, the price is too high. When a group of people complained about the price, Jiang Chen thought about it and felt that he needed to say something to everyone. If you want to buy, you can buy it. What can I say about this place? It's definitely worth it if you buy it, but it doesn't matter if you don't. Athens City has the same underground transportation system as Sahara City. It is a city that can accommodate 20 million people. Although the city has a large population, there is no traffic jam. In addition, Athens City is one of the cities closest to Future City. It has the most avant-garde esports town. The most popular esports projects in the world will move in here one after another. There are also top medical schools such as Sahara University of Traditional Chinese Medicine and characteristic universities such as Zhejiang University, Sahara Sports College, Sahara Academy of Fine Arts, and Sahara University of Rail Transportation. Of course, there are 42 companies with a value of $100 billion, 102 companies with a value of $10 billion, and more than 600 companies with a value of more than $1 billion. Well, that's all. In addition, this is the last city in the Sahara region that can withstand desert storms and nuclear weapons. If you can buy a city house with such a level at 100,000 per square meter, then go ahead and buy it. I won't force it. Heavy rain. Someone once cursed the houses in Future City like this. At that time, the houses in Future City cost more than 50,000 per square meter. Kung Fu Monkey, hahaha, now you can't even buy a house in Future City for 200,000 yuan per square meter. Nankeli Meng, I'm in Kingshan City. Last time, I applied for a house for my second brother. It's 120,000 yuan per square meter for special talent policy immigration. I won't say anything this time. I'll pay the down payment for a house in Athens City for my younger brother. Frog looking at the sky, my uncle bought a villa in the scenic area. I went there specially last time. Athens City is definitely not worse than Arsak City. After a group of people finished talking, more people started discussing. Jiang Chen knew that the people discussing here must be those who don't have money to buy a house. People who really have money to buy a house don't have time to discuss here. Jiang Chen was right. After turning off the live broadcast, people from all over the world who came to Athens City to look at houses crowded the subway to Athens City. Some big guys even fought on the street because they liked the same house. Rich people are not afraid of anything, but they are afraid of death. Athens City can provide them with everything, including work, so they hit it off. Needless to say, immigration is hot. At this moment, Jiang Chen has already focused on resisting the new desert storm. According to the latest news from the Future City Sand Management Bureau, because of the nuclear weapons war on the border, the desert storm is more than 10 times stronger than usual. And from the blurred images taken by the Sand Management Bureau in the depths of the desert, it seems that many strange figures have appeared in the strong wind. Some of these figures look like animals, and some look like tanks. Because of the strong wind and sand, the Sand Management Bureau dare not enter the desert to confirm. Therefore, Jiang Chen can only hurry up to deploy. Future City and surrounding cities are protected by desert barriers, so the danger is not great. What Jiang Chen needs to pay attention to is Cary City, Malacca and Budo City. Therefore, before the winter storm comes completely, Jiang Chen urgently convened a cloud meeting of all Sahara leaders. Number 1 Sakura Avenue, Wooden House Town. On the second floor of a large villa, Jiang Chen just sat down, and Anna brought a cup of tea over. Jiang Chen drank a sip of tea, and prepared for the meeting. Jiang Chen, I'm going to the first affiliated hospital for a checkup tomorrow. Are you free to go with me? If not, I'll go with Sister Zhu. Just half a year ago, Anna and Zukin were both pregnant, which gave Jiang Chen an explanation to his ancestors. Let's ask the doctor to come to our house for a checkup tomorrow. I have to go to Malacca tomorrow. There's something wrong in the desert. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Anna nodded and went out. The meeting began, and several three-dimensional figures were projected in front of Jiang Chen. These were the mayors of various cities. They held the meeting in the three-dimensional conference room launched by Dream Technology Group. Are all the people here? After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Guan Ku turned around and looked at him and said, Brother Jiang, everyone is here. Let's start the meeting quickly. All the cities are very busy now. The theme of our meeting this time is to help Malacca and other 3 cities survive the winter storm. Everyone can make some suggestions. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, several mayors began to think. I have an idea. I think the defense system of Kari City is good. Especially now that unidentified creatures have appeared in the desert. I think these unidentified creatures are the culprits that destroyed the desert city. Therefore, we must build a solid wall to block their attack. After the mayor of Kari City finished speaking, Jiang Chen nodded. The defense system of Kari City is also known as the Kari City Defense Line. Its original purpose of construction was to block the US coalition forces from the southeast. Now it is just right to use it to block the monsters in the desert storm. I think it's okay. There is still a month before the strongest moment of the winter storm. 1 month is very short for us. We built the Kari City defense line for 2.5 years. The Kari City finances invested nearly 30 billion in the glass wall around Kari City alone. Malacca and Budo City are so far away from Kingshan City. The transportation cost of cement and glass alone is not cheap. Chapter 828, the beginning of a new winter storm. When it comes to money, everyone is silent. Because of the war in the past 2 years, the GDP of each city is not good. So, it is really difficult to ask everyone to spend money to build the Malacca defense line, which starts at tens of billions. How is the defense line of Kari City now? After Jiang Chen finished speaking, the mayor of Kari City played a progress map of the defense line of Kari City with his hand. The 4-sided defense line has been completed. Now it is only the construction of the surrounding bunkers. The bunkers are expected to be completed in a week. The completed Kari City defense line can withstand a force 10 gale. At the same time, the newly built bunkers can perfectly withstand the existing technological attacks of mankind. The industry of Kari City is developing rapidly, especially the military industry. Just a month ago, the Kari City Military Industry Group developed an electric laser cannon. This cannon uses super strong electrical energy as ammunition, and one shot can easily penetrate the enemy's armored vehicles. Very good, don't say anything. From now on, all of Sahara will enter a state of war preparedness. The whole city will give up all transportation hubs and transport Sahara glass and other equipment to Kari City. Kari City will transfer materials to Malacca City and Budo City. I order that, no matter what means are used, no matter how much money is spent, the storm defense line from Budo City to Malacca to Kari City must be built before the winter storm arrives. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, the mayors of Malacca City and Budo City were so excited that they wiped their tears directly. Thank you, leader. Dear brother cities, we will definitely remember the kindness of today. We will definitely repay the money spent on this defense line. After Xiaomar finished speaking, Guan Ku also cheered on behalf of Sahara City. We are all brother cities, and it is only right to help each other when in trouble. Now I announce that Sahara Glass Town will suspend the supply of glass to all factories and focus on producing defense line glass. Sahara Steel Group's Sahara headquarters factory will also completely stop supplying steel to other factories and fully produce all kinds of steel required for the defense line. After Guan Ku finished speaking, Sac City Mayor Song Weeping also expressed his position. Our Sac City Cement Group will fully supply cement for the Malacca line of defense. Jiang Chen no longer produces cement. He has established a new cement group located in the north of Sac City. Jiang Chen plans to mine all the canny mountains that block Sac City from connecting with Kingshan City and Future City. He wants to remove this last obstacle that affects the merger and development of the 3 cities. Then I'll pay. Our canny mountain city's finances are not loose either. After the bleak tourism industry in the past 2 years, our income has dropped to the freezing point. It was only after the opening of tourism in the past 6 months that our city made some money. So, I'll pay 3 billion yuan. Canny Mountain City is a super tourist city with 7 or 8 5-level scenic spots. Both the famous Bagua City scenic spot and the Potian Peak scenic spot are well known in the world. However, because of the war, Canny Mountain City has reduced its tax revenue by at least tens of billions of yuan every year, so the mayor of Canny Mountain City does not dare to be generous. Our Salmon City is an industrial city and has been less affected in the past 2 years. However, we have just established the city and the foundation is weak. Let's give 10 billion. After Liu Jin finished speaking, Jiang Chen nodded at him. Liu Jin's ability is still obvious to all. In the past 2 years, Salmon City has surpassed Kari City and has been on par with Kanishan City from a newly built city. Now it has surpassed Kanishan City. This achievement is worthy of praise. I hope that industrial cities will follow the example of Salmon City. This year, Salmon City was rated by netizens as the most popular city for entrepreneurs. I hope everyone will follow the example of Salmon City in attracting investment. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Liu Jin lowered his head again and whispered, "Brother Jiang, I want to ask you a favor." Liu Jin has always been independent. Since the establishment of Salmon City, he has rarely sought his help. "Tell me, I will definitely help you if I can." The Cold Tide immigrants in Sahara jointly wrote me a letter, asking me to accept their relatives' immigration. I would like to ask Brother Jiang for approval. I have built a grassland in the north of Salmon City, which will become Salmon's new dairy product development zone. People are needed there, and I think their immigration here can just fill the population gap. In the past 2 years, especially this year, with the establishment of Malacca and Budo, there are the cheapest labor in the Sahara region, so their advantage as the world factory of salmon disappeared in an instant. Many companies want to build factories in Malacca and Budo, so Liu Jin wants to increase the labor force in Salmon City through immigration, while reducing the operating costs of enterprises, so as to retain enterprises. It happened that the Cold Tide country broke out in war with the Jin country in the north, and there were many refugees. Many of these refugees wanted to come to seek refuge with their relatives in Sahara. So as the most powerful person among the Cold Tide people in Sahara, Liu Jin was given new hope. "Okay, you can arrange it yourself. However, I have a prerequisite. Anyone who hates Sahara cannot come. Otherwise, if something happens to Sahara, you will be responsible." After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Liu Jin was surprised. He never expected that people who hated Hanchao country so much would agree to him. He wanted to share this good news with all the Hanchao people right now. Thank you, Brother Jiang. I promise they are absolutely not hostile." After settling Liu Jin's affairs, Liu Zia spoke on behalf of Future City. Future City is the capital of the Sahara region. In the past 2 years, we have indeed produced many super enterprises. So, let a few brother cities say the amount of money first, and if there is not enough left, we, Future City, will cover it. After Liu Zia finished speaking, the whole venue applauded instantly. "Well, let's give 10 billion in Kingshan. We will free up all the transportation in Kingshan to transfer the necessary materials for the Makala defense line. In addition, we will give 8 billion in cash and 5 billion in material support. There are few enterprises in our transit city, so we will give 2 billion. Now that winter is coming, we will donate another 1 billion in cotton padded clothes." After the leaders of several cities expressed their opinions, Chen Jiantao, the president of Sahara Group, also expressed his opinion. "We will purchase the daily necessities needed for winter in Malacca and Budo through the domestic and international channels of the group. In addition, in the next month of this year, we will close the Mogan Expressway owned by the group to other vehicles. We will ensure that all materials are transported from China to Malacca and Budo on time." After Chen Jiantao finished speaking, Jiang Chen gave him a thumbs up. After the decision was made, the battle against the super winter storm began. Jiang Chen appointed Guan Ku, the general manager of the Sahara region, as the commander-in-chief of this winter storm battle, and he personally supervised it. The two of them were in charge of Malacca City and Budo City respectively. In addition, Jiang Chen also appointed Chen Jianzhao as the chief financial officer, responsible for all financial support for the Malacca line of defense, Xia Heidong as the chief logistics officer, and the mayors of each city were appointed to tasks. In the evening after the meeting, Jiang Chen drove directly to Budo City. In Budo City, the wind and sand had already stretched out from the desert and rolled in. The wind and sand were so strong that half of Budo City was trapped in the yellow sand. When he arrived in Budo City, Jiang Chen took out his mobile phone and started planting without saying a word. He knew that the Buma line of defense needed a plan, but it was obviously too late to ask someone to plan it now. So he just planted the road as a line of defense. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 829, a large airport 30 years ahead of its time. Let's plant a road first, Jiang Chen said as he built an oval road around Budo City. After planting the road in Budo City, Jiang Chen planted directly along the oval to Malacca City, and then through Malacca City to Kari City. This super outer ring road will serve as the transportation line and outer ring road of the Buma defense line. After the road was built, Jiang Chen started a new planting. He wanted to plant the seeds of desert giant columnar cactus on the outside of the road. These cacti will greatly improve the soil composition of the desert and reduce the wind speed in the desert. Of course, more importantly, the cactus has long thorns and can block the attacks of many unknown creatures. After planting the cactus, Jiang Chen immediately planted dog climbing grass on the outside of the cactus defense line. Dog climbing grass is the most tenacious grass that Jiang Chen has ever seen, and it is also one of the most reproductive grasses that Jiang Chen has ever seen. Whenever a winter storm comes, the desert covered with dog climbing grass will be uprooted by the superstorm. But as long as the dog climbing grass falls to the ground, it only takes one night for the desert to be firmly trampled under its feet again. Moreover, dog grass has another function. According to the latest research results of the Sahara Botanical Research Institute, if Sahara grass wants to survive permanently in the desert, they cannot do without the desert plant ecological chain. This ecological chain is the desert periphery cooling and sand fixation ecological chain composed of dog grass and desert giant column cactus. With this research report, this completely solves the problem that Sahara grass seeds cannot survive in other deserts, and also completely solves the greening costs of many countries. Of course, Jiang Chen is not a fool. He strictly controls the export of dog grass and desert giant column cactus seeds. Moreover, the Sahara region has also specially legislated that stealing desert dog grass and desert giant column cactus will violate the desert destruction law, and violating the desert law is a death penalty. Let's plant dog grass all around the giant column cactus, Jiang Chen said, and directly planted 7 billion yuan of dog grass scattered outside the Buma defense line. After planting desert dog grass, in order to quickly build the Buma defense line, Jiang Chen planted more than 3 billion cement and gravel around Budo City and Malacca City. These cement and gravel are enough to build 3 outer walls for Budo, Malacca and Kari, not to mention the Buma line. After everything was done, 3 days passed. During these 3 days, Jiang Chen planted scattered buildings on the inner side of the Buma line road. These buildings will be used as a resting place for workers. You have to know that the temperature in the desert at night is -30 or 40 degrees Celsius, which is not something that ordinary people can stay in. Moreover, these buildings can be opened to tourists as tourist attractions after the superstorm is over. After planting the Buma line, Jiang Chen handed over the subsequent construction tasks to Guan Kubik. Guan Ku was responsible for leading the workers to build a wind-resistant base with cement and gravel. This base is called a base, but it is not shorter than the ancient city wall. Moreover, the first layer of the base is very wide. It is more like the Great Wall, and at least a tricycle can run on it. The construction of the base is more for the windproof glass wall above. The windproof glass wall is made of Sahara glass, which is the latest developed by Sahara. This glass is spliced to form a 20-meter high windproof wall. The wind wall also uses a hollow design to unload wind. When a strong storm blows, the hollow of the wind wall will allow the wind to blow through, thus ensuring that the wind wall will not be blown down by the strong wind. After the task of building the wind wall was handed over to Guangku, Jiang Chen began to get busy again. There are 3 cities in the south of Sahara, but Jiang Chen knows that he has a special area. This area is the site where thousands of coalition fighter planes crashed in the south of Kanishan city. There is a super large oil field next to this site. Its reserves are amazing. Once mined, it will surpass the existence of the Malacca oil field. Therefore, Jiang Chen has always wanted to build a new city on the site park. In this way, after the city is built, relying on the rich oil resources in the fighter plane site park, the city will definitely have no problem maintaining its own development. Of course, the reason why Jiang Chen is eager to build this city is because the Burma line of defense is too expensive. He can not only share the cost by building another city, but also quickly recover blood by selling high-priced houses to various industries in the Sahara region. Not only that, with 4 cities, the south can also develop in groups to compete with the north. Thinking of this, Jiang Chen turned the car around and drove towards the ruins park without saying a word. When he arrived at the ruins park, the wind and sand in the ruins park were obviously much smaller than in Budo city. It might be because the ruins park was close to the windbreak wall, so the wind was blocked. Therefore, construction here was much faster. First, build a road to the middle of Malacca and Kari city, so that this road can connect to the Burma defense line. Halfway through the road, Jiang Chen suddenly had an idea. Now his city is not only facing China, it is facing the whole world. For a region facing the world, the first thing to solve is its transportation problem. It has to be said that the biggest problem restricting him in the Sahara region is the transportation problem. In the current Sahara region, all its roads only lead to one region, that is, China. So Jiang Chen must solve this problem. The best way to connect with the outside world, especially those areas in Europe, is to open air routes. Because of the windbreaks in the northern cities, planes can't fly over. Why don't I build a large airport between the 4 southern cities? Jiang Chen had the idea of building an airport a long time ago. In the north of Sahara, Jiang Chen reserved a location for Sahara Airport in Salman City. Now with the addition of the southern airport, it perfectly solves the problem that the Sahara region cannot reach the northern and southern hemispheres at the same time. It's decided, build a southern airport in the middle of the 4 cities. The southern airport mainly flies to Europe, West Asia and some countries in South America. The northern airport in Salman City is mainly responsible for flight plans for countries and regions such as China, Southeast Asia and North America in the north. In this way, the 2 airports in the north and south can not only solve the routes from the Sahara region to the world, but also perfectly avoid the chaotic air control. And it can also drive the construction and development of the 2 urban agglomerations in the north and south, which is perfect. After deciding, Jiang Chen planned the location of the southern airport in the middle of the triangle of the 4 cities of Kari City, Malacca, Bud City and Ruins Park without saying a word. After determining the location, the planting task will follow. First, an outer ring road will be built along the airport. After the outer ring road is built, the size of the airport will be determined. Because it is an international airport, the airport planned by Jiang Chen is particularly large. It is 3 times the size of Huaguaxing Airport. Anyway, Jiang Chen is a person who has no shortage of land, so if he wants to build, he must be 20 or even 30 years ahead. Chapter 830, The Rat Extermination Team appears. After planning the airport ring road, Jiang Chen then planned an outer ring road outside the airport. Since an airport is to be built, an airport town must be built. The purpose of the airport town is to better serve those who come to travel, so that they can quickly find a place to stay and a place to eat as soon as they get off the plane. In addition, Jiang Chen has planned a circle of super shopping malls around the airport town. The bottom floor of the mall can be used to build a shopping center, and the top of the mall can be used as an office building. These office buildings can be used as offices for major super companies in the Sahara region. In addition, Jiang Chen will also set up the Southern Government Building and the Northern Government Building here. The Southern Government Building will be stationed by various departments in the 4 cities of Kari City, Malacca, Budo City and Oil City. Representatives from the 7 cities of Future City, Sac City, Kingshan City, Canny Mountain City, Ahun City, Salmon City, and Transit City will be stationed in the Northern Government Building. In the future, international businessmen who need to handle various businesses can directly complete all their affairs in the airport town. Of course, the Northern Airport, which will be planned in the future, is also planned in the same way. What Jiang Chen has to do is to provide the most comfortable service to all businessmen. He wants to retain all the businessmen who have invested money and at the same time promote his own business to the world. Jiang Chen did what he said. He built an outer ring road directly outside the inner ring road of the town. In the middle of the inner and outer ring roads, he began to plant various things. First, plant those super skyscrapers, and then plant various residential buildings after the skyscrapers. According to Jiang Chen's plan, this airport town will be able to accommodate at least 200,000 people. At that time, the airport town will be sold at the same time as the oil city. After planting residential buildings, the next step is greening. The greening of the airport town is different from the greening of other places. The greening of the airport town refers to the greening of the distance from the outer ring road to the windbreak wall. Because the airport town is like the oil city, they are very close to the super windbreak wall of the future city, which leads to the fact that the wind and sand in this place are not very strong. When the airport town was greened, Jiang Chen began to plant new roads. The purpose of the airport town is to serve the 4 southern cities, so Jiang Chen built a particularly wide road in the direction of each of the 4 cities. After planting the road, Jiang Chen planted desert giant cacti and dog grass on both sides of the road. After planting these, the construction of Guangkou was in full swing. Guangkou has hired a construction team of nearly 200,000 people, not including the free volunteers from Malacca and Budo. The construction team transported the glass to Kari City and Malacca City by subway. After the workers built the base wall, they erected the glass. A super defense line connecting the 3 cities has been completed for more than half in 15 days of work. When Beijing allocated the road between the airport town and the oil city to Guangkou, he drove towards the oil city again. He could no longer help with the desert defense line, so he had to build the oil city within a limited time. As long as this winter and the 3 southern cities avoid the invasion of wind and sand, after the spring, the houses in the oil city and the airport town can be sold at a very good price. By then, his southern city cluster will be built. At least this southern city cluster will be able to surpass most of China's city clusters. After arriving at the oil city, Jiang Chen began to plan. The oil city is different from other cities. Because of the need to extract oil, the entire oil city must be built with the oil industry base as the center. But while taking the oil center as the goal, the ruins park must also be taken into account. So after weighing it, Jiang Chen decided to build the new city into an oval city. The oval side is a ruins park, and the oval side is the oil extraction base. The middle of the oval is the entire city construction land. In addition, since the oil industry is to be developed, the oil truck is not only an oil extraction industry, but also must have a post-oil processing industry and a subsequent separation industry for crude oil. So Jiang Chen planned an oil refining base in the west near the oil extraction center, and in the south of the oil city, he planned an oil subsidiary industrial park. After everything was planned, Jiang Chen began to plant. First, build an oval outer ring road, then an oval inner ring road, and finally an oval first and second ring roads. After the road was built, the next step was to build houses. The houses in Oil City did not have any special features. Oil City emphasized practicality, because this place was not a city mainly for tourism after all. So the houses he had selected were basically houses for living. Although the appearance of this house was not as good as other places, the lighting and layout of each building was still very comfortable. After choosing a good house, the next step was to plant it with one click. After planting the house, Jiang Chen also planted the commercial street, the parking lot, and the factory area. After everything was planted, 20 days passed. After the construction of Oil City was completed, it was a super city that could accommodate nearly 10 million people. Because of the large population planning, other supporting facilities must also keep up. Therefore, Jiang Chen planned the Petroleum Medical University, Petroleum Normal University, Petroleum University, Metallurgical College, and Sahara Civil Aviation University in Oil City. As an oil city, relying on oil resources, Oil City will definitely become the central city of the southern urban agglomeration. So Jiang Chen planned many universities here, and Jiang Chen was also confident that Oil City will build these universities into world-class universities. After planning the reduction of university weight, the planning of various primary and secondary schools and kindergartens in the Oil City began. When Jiang Chen finished all these, half a month had passed. When a brand new city appeared in front of Jiang Chen, Guanshu also led his desert construction army to complete the construction of the Buma defense line and the airport defense line. When Guanshu mobilized people to build windbreaks from the airport to various cities, something happened in Budu City soon. Williams, the mayor of Budu City, called Jiang Chen and told him that some unidentified creatures were found outside the desert defense line. After receiving Williams' call, Jiang Chen hurriedly drove to Budu City. When he arrived in Budu City, Williams had already stationed with thousands of joint defense forces on the tower outside the Budu City defense line. Brother Jiang, look, these photos were taken by us at night with infrared. In a bunker on the westernmost defense line of Budu City, Williams introduced Jiang Chen in very unfluent Chinese. Chapter 831, The Unsolvable Desert Rats. Williams was a prisoner of the coalition forces. After the coalition forces were defeated, Williams did not choose to return to the United States. Like many knowledgeable people in the coalition forces, he chose to stay in the Afghan army in the south. They knew that it was the coalition forces that delayed them, so they wanted to use the knowledge they learned to lead these widows of the Afghan army on the road to having enough food. So when Jiang Chen moved all the people of the Southern Government Army to Budo City, as a less literate part of the Southern Government Army, Williams, a graduate student from Hollins University in the United States, was appointed by Jiang Chen as the mayor of Budo City. You should speak American, I can understand it. Jiang Chen said this, and took the photos that Williams handed over. These infrared photos are very blurry. At this moment, a strong wind suddenly blew outside the desert, and the wind blew the watchtowers. What are these densely packed things? Are they desert locusts? Jiang Chen was very curious. If they were desert locusts, they would not only be harmless, but also beneficial. But if these are not locusts, then the sight of these things everywhere is definitely a disaster. I have never seen such a thing before. I estimate that by the afternoon, these things will arrive at our defense line along with the superstorm. Winter has arrived now, and the wind in the Death Desert is definitely as strong as level 7 or 8. If Jiang Chen had not urgently built the defense line, the entire Budo City would have turned into a sand dune. Mayor, we have taken a picture of it. We have installed cameras in bunkers in many canyons, and we have taken pictures of this thing. In the temporary command bunker, after the Sahara communication group's day and night repairs, the network has covered the entire defense line. After a soldier in the bunker finished speaking, a group of people surrounded him. What appeared in front of Jiang Chen at this moment was a dense mass of desert rats. These desert rats were all very large, and they were crowded together, just like lumps on the ground. It's gerbils. Williams said late, and a soldier shouted again, look, a group of gerbils have come to the edge of our defense line. Isn't it true? Through the camera installed by Jiang Chen on the dog climbing grass, a large number of mice suddenly emerged in the sand at the edge of the dog climbing grass. After these mice crawled out of the sand, they immediately jumped onto the dog climbing grass like a group of locusts, and started to gnaw. The gerbils were very happy to eat, and soon the dog climbing grass was eaten up by the gerbils. This group of damn mice, they not only eat the stems of the dog climbing grass, they also crawled into the sand, dug out the roots of the dog climbing grass, and ate them all. Brother Jiang, we must stop them. After Williams finished speaking, Jiang Chen nodded. If he let this group of gerbils eat like this, his defense line would be swallowed up by the wind and sand sooner or later. Send the rat extermination commando team. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, 3 or 4 young men rushed out of a bunker closest to the dog climbing grass. They held flame guns in their hands and moved towards the dog climbing grass camp against the wind and sand. When they were almost at the dog climbing grass, a volunteer soldier from Budo pulled the trigger. As the trigger was pulled, a flame that shot out from the desert covered a large area of land in an instant. The flames swept through, roasting the gerbils in an instant. The air was filled with the aroma of meat, and several soldiers manipulated the flame tubes and kept spraying in the strong wind. Soon, the first group of gerbils that arrived at the dog climbing grass camp were wiped out. After the gerbils were wiped out, the squad was about to retreat when suddenly there was a sound of overwhelming waves in the distance. When several people looked back, they saw the sand dunes rushing towards them in the strong wind. On the sand dunes, pigeon-sized gerbils were jumping happily. Those gerbils jumped very high on the rushing sand dunes, and they were densely packed together, like a group of jumping fish. Go. With so many sand dunes rushing in, even an armored vehicle would be submerged in an instant, let alone a few people. So several soldiers hurriedly ran back to the bunker with rocket launchers on their backs. After running to the bunker, several people jumped into the bunker and quickly closed the door. The bunker was very safe. The underground space of the bunkers built by Jiang Chen was very large. There was enough water and food in the bunker, and even the internet. Even if the wind and sand covered the entire bunker, the soldiers in the bunker could still survive in it for at least 3 months. In these 3 months, the desert storm had long passed. Brother Jiang, there are too many gerbils, what should we do? Seeing that the gerbils were about to eat up the grass that the dogs around them had dug up, Jiang Chen was also very troubled. Send out the robot troops to spray fire to kill the rats. Jiang Chen would never let these rats enter Budu City, because once these old water rats entered Budu City, they would eat up all the greenery in the entire Budu City. If a city has no greenery, the soil covering the city will turn into yellow sand. Once they turn into yellow sand, the city will also be submerged by the desert. This is also the reason why many cities cannot resist the sea of sandstorms. The river of sandstorms are never as simple as everyone imagines. In order to devour everyone's homes, the storm will have many accomplices. Send out the electronic dog troops, Williams said, and soon, electronic dogs that can be remotely controlled were released from the bunkers one by one. These electronic dogs were copied from the electronic dogs of the coalition forces. The legs of these dogs were specially modified. They are more like skateboards with tracks under the skateboards. They drive in the desert like walking on flat ground. Several electronic dogs loaded with jets of flames and bombs rushed to the sand dunes full of rats. The rats were still happily drilling in the sand. A dog opened its mouth and a fire snake sprayed out. The extremely thin fire snakes were like steel needles, and they cut the rats in half in an instant. A raging fire ignited on the yellow sand, and the rats that kept jumping on the yellow sand suffered, but soon the group of rats learned to be smart and drilled into the sand and didn't come out. The wind blew the sand dunes forward. Suddenly, a huge wave rose, and soon an electronic dog was covered by the sand. The electronic dog operated by the soldier emerged from the raging sand. As soon as the electronic dog emerged, it was full of rats. The rats bit the electronic dog with their sharp teeth. Fortunately, these electronic dogs were made of Sahara and Sahara glass, otherwise, they would have been bitten to death by the rats. Retreat. Blow them up with bombs. After Jiang Chen gave an order, the desert electronic dogs fought and retreated. As they retreated, they sprayed super flames from time to time. The flames burned the gerbils that were fleeing from the electronic dogs into rat meat. Soon, the electronic dogs carrying bombs also fired small bombs. With a loud bang, a piece of yellow sand was soon blown up. The rats hiding in the yellow sand were also blown into a bloody mess in an instant. After dozens of electronic dogs had thrown all their bombs, the first batch of gerbils used in the desert were finally eliminated. Chapter 832, Desert Nations Unite. After dealing with the first batch of gerbils, the group of people breathed a sigh of relief. But this is not the moment to relax, because Jiang Chen knows that this is just the beginning. Rats have a strong reproductive capacity, so there are countless desert rats in the desert. If the problem of desert rats is not completely solved, Jiang Chen's city will never be peaceful. In the evening, Jiang Chen received a call from the Desert Development Alliance. The Development Alliance asked Jiang Chen to rush to Ahan City as soon as possible to attend the meeting of the top leaders of the desert countries. Jiang Chen did not dare to neglect it. He asked Williams to continue to guard the position, and he drove away from Budu City quickly. From Budu City, he drove along the Buma line and rushed to Kari City. The road was very wide and there was no car on the road. The outside of the road was full of high walls. The wind and sand in the distance blew over, making the walls whirring. However, the specially designed walls did not shake at all. Arriving in Kari City, Jiang Chen parked the car at the subway entrance and chose to take the subway to Aachen City. Coming out of the Aachen City subway entrance, the surroundings instantly became quiet. Everything was familiar to Jiang Chen. Tourists were strolling on the busy streets. Every shop was hung with colorful lights. Because New Year's Day was coming, it was the best time to go shopping. It's like two different worlds. Jiang Chen couldn't help but sigh and continued to rush to the Desert Development Alliance headquarters building. In the cloud conference room of the Development Alliance headquarters, diplomats from several alliance countries around the desert were all present. The meeting started soon. Because it was an urgent meeting, when Jiang Chen sat down, all the national leaders were already in place. Even Putin, the Emperor of Russia, appeared in the conference room. I declare the meeting open. The main reason for our emergency meeting this time is that there are some different situations in the desert. Let's discuss solutions together. After the chairman of the Desert Alliance Development Committee finished speaking, the president of Pakistan hurriedly introduced himself first. Now the desert storm has covered most of the Akhanic Empire, and many refugees from the Akhanic Empire have poured into the border of our Pakistani country. We sent people to the Akhanic region to investigate and found that large areas of urban houses there have collapsed. The main reason for the collapse of houses and the sandification of roads is a kind of rat. This kind of rat can drill down the stone walls, so no house is intact where they pass. What's more terrible is that these rats eat everything. They have eaten up all the only green plants in the Akhanic region. Not only did they eat up the plants in the Akhanic region, these rats even didn't let go of the water, and they drank up all the water. After the president of Pakistan finished speaking, he said with great concern, "Now the wind and sand continue to advance towards the Pakistani border. I'm afraid it won't take long before these rats will pour into our Pakistani country along with the wind and sand. At that time, these rats will bring a catastrophe to our Pakistani country, so I ask all countries to lend a hand and help us." After President Pakistan finished speaking, the president of the Arab League Emirate also stood up and introduced. The Sahara Desert is now advancing eastward as a whole, but our Arab region is also ravaged by the desert. Currently, there are no such rats around our country. However, locusts that once appeared in the Sahara region have appeared in our country. These desert locusts are mixed with wind and sand, and are flying all over the sky, which is really scary. Moreover, the reproduction rate of these locusts is very high, and they will lay their young in the yellow sand before they die. When the yellow sand flies to our country, the eggs of those locusts will slowly grow up and become locusts. These locusts will keep devouring our greenery and crops. We request the Desert Committee to come up with a solution to the desert locusts, and we also request the Sahara region to give us rich experience in controlling locusts. After President Abra finished speaking, the president of Italy also raised his hand to express his opinion. Our country is on the west side of the Sahara Desert. Now the Sahara Desert has a tendency to move westward, so we hope that the Sahara region can allocate a batch of new grass seeds to us as soon as possible. Only if we, Italy, block the Sahara Desert, Europe will have hope. Now the desert as a whole is moving eastward, and we request that more grass seeds be left in the eastern countries. In addition, the Sahara Desert has extended to the sea in the south. We, Iraq, request that the focus of desert control be placed in our south. If we do not plant enough grass by the sea, then the storm will carry more yellow sand into the sea. When the sea level rises, it will be a catastrophe for mankind. The leaders of several countries quickly started arguing. Yes, they were alright. The Sahara Desert is the nightmare of the surrounding countries. The European countries hope to block the Sahara Desert in Italy. As long as the wind and sand do not reach them in Europe, their civilization, country, and economy will not be destroyed. The ideas of the Langai and Lak countries are also good. If the Sahara Desert is not blocked by the sea, the Sahara Desert will carry tens of millions of tons or even more yellow sand into the sea. The sea level will inevitably rise, and the rising sea level will cause those countries below the sea level to suffer major floods. The countries to the east and north of the desert are even more worried. Now the Sahara Desert is advancing eastward as a whole, which means that they may be the next countries to be swallowed by the desert. So they dare not be careless at all. Our country is the last Great Wall of the Sahara Desert. In recent years, as we have increased our efforts to control the desert on the border of the new province, as we purchase more and more lawns and plant them on the edge of the desert, the environment in many parts of our country has been continuously improved. But this year's winter storm is different from the past. Some rare animals appeared in this winter storm, such as the gerbils, that everyone talks about. This kind of gerbil is particularly destructive to green plants, so I think the first issue we should discuss is how to solve this batch of gerbils in the shortest time. After the person in charge of China finished speaking, Luosha also agreed. Solving the gerbils is the first priority. After we solve the gerbils, we are discussing putting more grass seedlings in countries such as Iran and Iraq and Italy. After Putin finished speaking, a group of people looked at Jiang Chen. After all, Jiang Chen is the only one who can dominate the desert lawn, and he is undoubtedly the most powerful man in the entire desert alliance. Let's discuss how to solve the problem of gerbils first. Before discussing how to solve the problem of gerbils, I will help Abra solve the problem of desert locusts. Desert locusts are as big a problem for humans as gerbils. If we don't pay attention to desert locusts now, the disaster they bring will only be more serious than gerbils. Chapter 833. Experts from China. When it comes to dealing with desert locusts, Jiang Chen has a lot of experience to share. Sheikh Khalifa, is there a precedent for eating locusts in your country? Speaking of eating locusts, Sheikh Khalifa shook his head. No one in our country eats such disgusting things for the time being. Do you mean that we should eat all these locusts? No, no, no. If you don't like to eat them, forget it. Otherwise, you can give me the budget for desert locust control, and I will find a contracting company for you with the money. The contracting company will help you solve all the desert locust problems. If they can't solve it, I will double the money. Jiang Chen is now a person who is extremely short of money. Because of the war, the Sahara economy has been facing a setback for several years. In addition, he has to build a southern desert defense line, and also build an airport town and an oil city. This is a huge investment. Before the houses in the airport town and the oil city are sold, Jiang Chen's investment will never see interest. So Jiang Chen thought of a good way to make money. Since the rich Abra wants to eradicate locusts, why don't he contract his project? Can you really solve the problem of locusts completely? After Chief Khalifa finished speaking, Jiang Chen nodded. It can't be solved completely, because the locusts in the desert are unlimited, but we can control the desert locusts for a long time, and prevent them from expanding to the cities of Abra. Locusts are not completely controlled even in the Sahara region now. So Jiang Chen dare not give him this guarantee. Okay, as long as you can help us control the desert locusts, we are willing to pay you a certain fee every year. Deal. I will let our company contact you when the time comes. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, everyone began to discuss how to solve the problem of gerbils. I hope that all countries can carry out research on gerbils. Only by finding the weaknesses of this kind of gerbils can we catch them all in one fell swoop. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, everyone nodded. Then we must capture a batch of gerbils for research. In addition, we need to open up multiple anti-rat battlefields. I suggest that in the south of the desert, Pakistan and the Akhenat Youth Army be used as a battlefield. In the middle, the Sahara region is used as a battlefield, and in the north, China and Russia are used as battlefields. The four battlefields fight against rats together, and other countries must provide necessary support. After the chairman of the Desert Committee finished speaking, everyone nodded in agreement. Speaking of providing support, under the call of China, the Desert National Development Committee finally reached an agreement. The Desert Committee decided to establish its own bank, named Desert Peace and Construction Bank. The bank's headquarters is located in the future city, the economic center of Sahara. The Desert Peace and Construction Bank was established by desert countries such as Sahara, Russia, Abra, Iran and Iraq, Italy, China, and Pakistan in proportion. This is a non-profit bank. The bank's purpose is to help desert countries or cities in poor areas resist desert attacks. After the meeting, Jiang Chen called Fatty Wang as soon as possible. Fatty Wang is very busy now. In the past 2 years of war, other industries have lost money, but Fatty Wang has made a lot of money. Whether you fight or not, you always have to eat and drink milk, so his Jiang group and Sahara livestock group are rich enough to rival a country. Fatty Wang, come to Budo City, come as soon as possible. After the meeting, Jiang Chen rushed directly to Budo City. He had to check Budo City all day, because it was his southern barrier. The south cannot be lost, otherwise all his money would be wasted. When he arrived in Budo City, Williams was busy catching gerbils. In the evening, there were more gerbils in the desert. In the past, they were still hiding in the sand dunes, but now they have arrogantly led the way in front of the desert. Brother Jiang, there are too many gerbils. All the dog climbing grass on our periphery has been eaten up. Fuck, burn it. Burn them to death. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Williams sighed and said, the fire in the frontline bunkers is almost burned out. We also sent out the Iron Army to bomb the gerbils, but can't they be killed? Is this gerbil going to go against the sky? No, it's not worth it. The cost of one of our bombs is far more than the value of the gerbils. Moreover, we can't blow up all of these gerbils. What's more infuriating is that just when you kill one wave, another wave of gerbils will come over. You can't blow them all up. Now it's also difficult in Budo City. They are refugees from the south and have no money. They rent houses in Budo City. Although the rent is very low, their wages are also pitiful. There are no enterprises in Budo City now. Williams still wants to take advantage of the stability of the city to prepare for investment. The sandstorm came, and he had to take care of the people's food and drink this winter. Their municipal government had to borrow money from Malacca City. Therefore, Williams didn't want to fire a single shell. We can't let them be so arrogant. Go catch a few gerbils and study them. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Williams hurriedly ordered a team of soldiers to come out of the bunker and catch a few pigeon-sized gerbils, put them on the robot dog, and bring them back to the fort. In the fort, several zoology experts began to study. After studying for a long time, they didn't come up with any results. Brother Jiang, the best way to kill rats is to use rat poison. After an expert finished speaking, Jiang Chen sighed. Is there a big difference between what you said and what you didn't say? Where can we get so much rat poison now? You might as well catch a few cats and throw them in the desert. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, an expert looked at the gerbil and said thoughtfully, from the perspective of the food chain in nature, this is true, but where to find so many cats is a problem. After the expert finished speaking, Jiang Chen looked at Williams and said, where did we find these people? These are professors from our University of Kachina, who have returned from further studies in China. Fuck, that's easy to explain, Williams. All these people will be dismissed later. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, he directly asked someone to take these experts who came for further studies out. The essence is not learned, and the garbage is learned faster than anyone else. Williams, go to Sac City University to invite 2 experts. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, he also made a special call to Song Weeping in Sac City and asked him to quickly organize a few real experts. An hour later, it was getting dark. After dark, the infrared camera captured an even more terrifying scene. The gerbils all over the mountains and plains were overwhelming and swarming towards the city of Budo. They were even more terrifying than locusts. Wherever the gerbils passed, even the sand became much thinner. Brother Jiang, it's bad. There are too many gerbils. They are about to reach the cactus forest defense line. Beyond the cactus forest is the windbreak wall, and beyond the windbreak wall is the city of Budo. Once the rats come in, the city of Budo will be doomed. Quick, act, burn them with fire, and make sure to. Chapter 834, the trees are full of gerbils. The scene of a group of rats rushing towards the desert giant cactus forest like a wave was extremely spectacular. Jiang Chen even wondered, if he started a live broadcast at this moment, how many millions of people would be watching online? The reward money alone for this live broadcast would start at tens of millions, but it was a pity that he couldn't really run to the desert to start this live broadcast at the risk of his life. Brother Jiang, there are too many gerbils, and the door of the bunker can't be opened. Today, the soldiers in the bunker wanted to use fire to blast the gerbils, but the door of the bunker couldn't be opened because of the heavy pressure of rats. And even if they could open the door, they were unwilling to open the door. After all, no one can guarantee whether gerbils eat human flesh. Look, the tree is full of gerbils, a deputy commander shouted, and Jiang Chen looked at the monitor. In the night, when the first batch of gerbils rushed to the desert giant cactus, because they rushed too fast, many mice were directly pierced by the thorns of the giant cactus. The thorns of the giant column cactus are very sharp, and a long thorn directly penetrated the body of the mouse. So soon, the desert giant columns were covered with mice. These mice hung on the desert cactus trees like fruits, which was really scary. The giant column cactus can't resist them, Jiang Chen said, and as more and more mice came behind, the mice on the first row of desert cacti quickly overwhelmed the desert giant column cactus. As soon as the cactus tree fell, countless mice drilled into the branches of the cactus and ate the entire cactus. One by one, the desert giant column cactus trees fell to the ground with a bang, and then countless gerbils swarmed up and ate it without leaving any residue. When will the animal experts arrive? Jiang Chen said. Williams called Sac City University again. Not long after the call was connected, several experts appeared at the door of the bunker. The door creaked open, and several experts shook their cloaks, which were covered with sand and dust. Finally found it. When the sandstorm blew, the whole world turned yellow and dry. It was hard to tell east from west and north from south, let alone find a bunker. After the professor leading the team finished speaking, Jiang Chen smiled awkwardly. It's okay, we are glad we are here. Professor Ma, come and take a look at these gerbils. Do we have any way to deal with them? After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Professor Ma, wearing glasses, walked to the gerbils on the table. He reached out and picked up a dead gerbil and looked at it, then opened its teeth and looked at it. This is not an ordinary gerbil. Look, Jiang, this mouse's head's bigger than an ordinary mouse. And Jiang, look, this gerbil's skin is particularly thick. They are not afraid of heat or cold. This thing is very adaptable to the desert, so it is difficult to deal with. After Professor Ma finished speaking, Jiang Chen nodded, like an expert. Do they have any weaknesses? Almost none, Brother Jiang. According to our research, this kind of gerbil can survive at least 2 months in extreme water shortage. They can survive in the desert for so long, which proves that there may be water sources deep in the desert. If we can find water sources in the desert along the way, where the gerbils come, it will bring very positive news for us to continue to expand into the desert. After Professor Ma finished speaking, Jiang Chen shook his head. Now is not the time to do academic research. What he should do most now is how to eliminate these rats. We'll talk about finding water later. Have you found out whether this kind of rat has any weaknesses? Now I want to eliminate them, and I want to eliminate them in the fastest way. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Professor Ma and the others began to ponder. After discussing for a while, they finally gave Jiang Chen an answer. Brother Jiang, we suggest sending a small team to the desert to find the nest of gerbils, and then put a strong poison in the underground river. The poison can solve the source of the rats. In addition, for the rats that have already escaped, we just need to stop them. Once the winter storm is over, they will die naturally without water. After Professor Ma finished speaking, Jiang Chen frowned again. What he needed now was how to stop these gerbils on the wall. Forget it, just pretend I didn't say anything. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, the door suddenly creaked again. As soon as the door opened, the wild sand outside rushed in. The sand and dust blew on the face, hitting the face a little painful. Brother Chen, why are you here? I've been looking for you for several hours. I went into every bunker on this road. The person who came in was none other than Jiang Chen's good brother Wang Pangzi. While talking, Wang Pangzi walked to the table of the bunker, as if he was familiar with it, and sat down. After Wang Pangzi sat down, he looked at the several big rats on the table and instantly became excited. Brother Chen, you said there is a good deal. You don't want me to help you wrestle rats. After Wang Pangzi finished speaking, Jiang Chen was really confused. Does anyone eat rats these days? Cellular rat head. These rats. TSK, these rats are really good. Look, none of them are thin. They are all fat, and the meat is lean meat. The taste is absolutely good. Sure. Wang Panzi, have you eaten too many locusts and become stupid? After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Wang Panzi touched the mouse fur again and couldn't help but sigh. Look at this fur, how soft. The temperature is so low at night, it feels warmer than sheepskin. This big rat, killing one is enough to make a pair of gloves and 2 sets. Brother Jiang, leave this rat to me. I tell you, if this rat is done well, the skin and meat are worth money. After Wang Panzi finished speaking, Jiang Chen was speechless. Has Wang Panzi really become so mercenary now? Is this still the honest farmer he knew? Fatty Wang, I'm serious. These mice can't be eaten. Why can't they be eaten? Do they grow up eating shit? After Fatty Wang finished speaking, Professor Ma hurriedly shook his head and said, no, they don't grow up eating shit. They are mutant gerbils that grow up by eating various plants and microorganisms in the desert. After Professor Ma finished speaking, Fatty Wang held a big mouse and said to Professor Ma, then tell me if it can be eaten. I invested in a bamboo rat breeding base in China and sell this thing every day. I can tell at a glance whether it can be eaten. After Fatty Wang finished speaking, Professor Ma frowned and said, well, no one knows whether this can be eaten. After all, no one has nothing to do to eat it. However, this mouse skin can really be considered to make a glove or something. After all, it is resistant to high and low temperatures. After Professor Ma finished speaking, Fatty Wang threw the mouse on the table and said, if I say it can be eaten, it can be eaten. I'll eat it for you to see now. After Fatty Wang finished speaking, he really kicked down a chair with his feet, then picked up the printer paper in the room and set it on fire. Jiang Chen wanted to stop it but he couldn't. Soon a blazing fire started in the house. Chapter 835. This is simply picking up money. In the bunker, a group of people watched Fatty Wang skillfully pierce the gerbil with an iron bar and grill it over the fire. Soon, the small bunker was filled with the aroma of meat. Fatty Wang sniffed and praised, fragrant. Really fragrant. This taste is not even comparable to the best bamboo rats. While talking, Fatty Wang took out a small bottle of cumin mixed spices from his pocket. Everyone was dumbfounded. Is this the daily operation of a food king? Sizzle. Cumin powder was sprinkled on the roasted gerbil, and soon the aroma became stronger. Brother Jiang, come and try it. This meat is absolutely chewy. Fatty Wang roasted a gerbil and handed it to Jiang Chen, who waved his hand in a hurry to refuse. He couldn't eat this unknown creature. Professor, come and try it. You eat what I produce every day, and this is the first time I cook for you. Fatty Wang said to Professor Ma, who held his eyes and waved his hand. No, you should eat it yourself. TSK, you cowards. Okay, let me eat it for you. Fatty Wang tore open the roasted gerbil and started eating it directly. He was intoxicated while eating. Fragrant. Really fragrant. This kind of rat meat is lean and chewy, and, well, you can also taste a desolate feeling of wind and sand. It's simply wonderful. Fatty Wang was so moved that he almost cried while eating, and everyone swallowed their saliva unconsciously when they saw him eating. Fatty Wang handed the torn gerbil to Professor Ma again. Teacher Ma coughed and said, let me try it. I heard from Liu from the medical university that animals in the desert are very rich in minerals. This mineral will supplement many nutrients needed by the human body. I want to try what this pure natural mineral mixed meat tastes like. After saying this, Professor Ma tore off a piece and put it in his mouth and slowly refused. Eat it if you want to, you still have so many excuses. Fatty Wang peeled another bamboo rat and roasted it. Everyone stared at Professor Ma. His thin body was shaking under the fire. Great. It tastes really great. It would be even better if you could have a sip of wine. After Professor Ma finished speaking, Fatty Wang actually took out a bottle of wine from his pocket and threw it to him. Then, since you are an old man who knows the goods, I will tell you that I won't sell this wine, even if it costs 10,000 yuan a pop. I'm giving you a bargain today. After taking the wine from Fatty Wang, Professor Ma also carried a small chair to help Fatty Wang set up the barbecue stall. Mr. Wang, let me tell you, this kind of bamboo rat only eats minerals and grass in the desert. It doesn't eat meat. This kind of rat meat is the purest. Absolutely no pollution. Really? The bamboo rats I raise in the bamboo forests of the southwest only eat bamboo. I sell one bamboo rat for 21 after processing, and I make a net profit of 100 million a year. How many 100 million can I make from these gerbils? This kind of gerbil is much more precious than the bamboo rats raised in captivity. If the rat meat is processed, it can be sold for 40 yuan each. You can make gloves and earmuffs from these rat skins, and a pair of gloves will start at least 50 yuan. After Professor Ma finished speaking, Fatty Wang peeled 2 more gerbils and roasted them, saying, 50? I won't sell them for 500 yuan. What era is it now? It's the era of brands. I'll go to channel to cooperate in developing high-end brand gloves and earmuffs, and a pair of gloves will start at least 5,000 yuan. After Fatty Wang finished speaking, Jiang Chen suddenly realized that he had really changed. He was no longer the honest Fatty Wang. However, the Fatty Wang in front of him seemed to be pretty good. Great. You can sell 2 gerbils for tens of thousands. There are so many gerbils here that you can't count them all. If you take over the gerbils here, won't your net worth double? After Professor Ma finished speaking, Fatty Wang roasted gerbils and said, it won't double. After all, my business is too big. However, if you invest in a gerbil food company and produce brine gerbils, roasted gerbils, original rat meat, etc. every day, as long as there are enough rats, you can still make tens of millions a year. By the way, invest in a gerbil fur company and cooperate with channel to hold a winter luxury show for gerbil series. It will be no problem to sell more than 1 billion a year. After Fatty Wang finished speaking, Williams next to him became interested when he heard that Fatty Wang was going to invest in a gerbil food company and a gerbil fur company. Budu City has everything now, but it lacks enterprises. Boss Wang, do you think your gerbil food company and gerbil fur company can be built in our Budo City? In Budo City? Yes. In our Budo City, I will definitely support your gerbil series as a local specialty. At that time, anyone who comes to our Budo City will take your gerbil meat home. What do you think? After Williams finished speaking, Jiang Chen was not calm. How did this damn rat extermination conference turn into an investment promotion conference? Fatty Wang, let's talk about serious business. You want to sell rats? Wait until we get through the desert storm. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Fatty Wang stood up and ate roasted rat meat while saying, I'm talking about serious business too. Brother Chen, leave this job to me. I won't charge you a penny. I will get rid of all the rats. No, I can't get rid of all of them. Otherwise what can I sell later? After Fatty Wang finished speaking, Jiang Chen reached out and pinched a piece of rat meat and put it in his mouth. It's true that the rat meat was really tender and delicious. How can you handle it if I give it to you? Rat meat is delicious, but the lawn planted by Jiang Chen in Budo City is more valuable. So Jiang Chen will not trust Wang Pangzi easily. After all, he is now a standard businessman, and businessmen are all for profit. Isn't it simple? Lower all the glass walls outside the bunker and let all the gerbils in. Before Wang Pangzi finished speaking, Jiang Chen kicked him. You can't even stop them, and you let them in? Hey, I'm hiding. Brother Chen, you talk about reverse thinking every day. Why are you not as good as me, Wang Pangzi, today? Don't keep me in suspense. What do you mean? Do you think there are more gerbils or more people in Budo City? I will buy gerbils for 10 yuan each, and the more than 7 million people in Budo City will have to climb over the wall and run to the desert to catch them. When Wang Pangzi said this, several people suddenly realized. Sure enough, those who are involved are confused, but those who are on the sidelines can see clearly. Oh no, the brains of foodies are invincible. Why didn't Jiang Chen think of mobilizing the masses to catch gerbils? Can you really let the common people catch this thing? Jiang Chen dared not be careless in the slightest. Fatty Wang did not say anything. He casually grabbed a thin soldier and said, will you pick up 10 yuan? Fatty Wang took out 10 yuan and threw it on the ground. The soldier raised his head and shook his head. Fatty Wang took out another stack of money and threw it on the ground and said, will you pick up 10,000 yuan? The soldier was a little hesitant. In Budo City, most of them had no jobs and relied on relief for food every day, not to mention buying things they liked. If he had this 10,000 yuan, he would definitely become the richest guy in their refugee camp. Pick it up, the soldier said as he lowered his head to pick up the 10,000 yuan on the ground. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 836, People with a daily salary of over 10,000 yuan. The soldier didn't get the 10,000 yuan after all, because Fatty Wang stepped on it with his foot. Seeing Fatty Wang's frivolous expression, Jiang Chen wanted to beat him. Look, everyone wants 10,000 yuan. Just kill 1,000 gerbils, and you'll get the 10,000 yuan. Look at the gerbil mountain outside the city. If you have the guts, you can catch 10,000 gerbils a day. 10,000 gerbils is 100,000 yuan. 100,000 yuan a day. Do you think they won't try their best to pick it up? Fatty Wang bent down and picked up the stack of money at his feet. Just as he was about to put the money back into his pocket, a pair of big hands grabbed him. If you don't give it to them, how can they believe it? The stack of money finally left Fatty Wang's pocket. Fatty Wang shrugged his shoulders. He didn't care about this little money, but he was used to being poor, so he didn't want to give anyone even a dime. Thank you, leader. The soldier took the money and was so excited. Jiang Chen patted him on the shoulder, and the soldier saluted again in a hurry. Okay, let's do what Fatty Wang said today. Tomorrow, we will open the wind wall of this section of the Budo Canyon and let the people pick up gerbils at will. 10 yuan for a gerbil. Sell them all to Fatty Wang. Fatty Wang, you go back and make money, all in cash. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Fatty Wang became excited. Yes, it's decided happily. Mayor Williams, I will build a factory in your Budo city. Don't forget to allocate a piece of land to me for free. It needs to be a large piece of land, the kind that can raise hundreds of thousands of gerbils. Okay, the factory needs our workers. After Williams finished speaking, Fatty Wang patted him on the shoulder and replied, no problem, use all your workers. Fatty Wang was eager to use the people of Budo city. After all, the people of Budo city are the cheapest in the entire Sahara region. For every worker hired in the northern grassland, you can hire 5 in Budo city. At night, after Fatty Wang left, Williams also left. So Jiang Chen was the only one left in the bunker. Jiang Chen kept monitoring the gerbils outside the glass wall. However, as the night came, the gerbils soon disappeared. In Professor Ma's words, it was too cold late at night, and the gerbils all ran to the sand pile to keep warm. The next morning, Jiang Chen was woken up by noise. The wind and sand in the morning were very strong, but it was definitely not enough to drown out the noisy quarrels outside. Be quiet, there is plenty of money. See, the trucks behind me are all full of money. Today, I will use this money to fill all the trucks behind me with gerbils. Can you do it? Fatty Wang finished speaking with the microphone, and the horns on several large trucks shook the sand and dust on the bunkers. Yes. Open the defense door quickly, we will rush out and catch them. In front of the crowd was a row of soldiers, holding guns to block people who tried to climb up the glass wall one by one. Jiang Chen held his forehead and was a little embarrassed. What the hell was going on? He wanted the people to hide behind the wall to catch mice. When did he let them rush out? As expected, money is omnipotent. Brother Chen, can we start now? I tell you, don't even think about getting a mouse hair into the city of Budo. Just wait and see. After Fatty Wang finished speaking, Mayor Williams, who was in charge of maintaining order in the distance, also shouted with a microphone, there are gerbils to catch. I emphasize again. No one is allowed to cross the defense line and run outside, otherwise he will be deprived of the right to catch gerbils. Also, Boss Wang is about to build a factory here. By then, we can recruit tens of thousands of workers. Whoever performs well will be given priority. Do you hear me clearly? After William shouted, a group of people shouted, I heard it. So the rat catching war began. The defense line of Budo city is very long, and the defense line that was opened this time is hundreds of miles long. The hundreds of miles of roads were full of people. All men, women, young and old in Budo city went out, and they all wanted to make more money in this rat catching activity. Open the glass wall. Jiang Chen gave an order, and soon the glass walls began to rotate. This glass wall is designed to rotate freely. When there is no winter storm, the glass will turn around to let the desert wind into the city. The moment the glass turned around, huge gerbils quickly rushed in from outside the wall. As soon as the gerbils jumped onto the wall, they ran towards the wall. Seeing the gerbils rushing in like a tide, the people who were originally on high alert were instantly broken. Yes, so many rats rushing over, it's really scary. However, with the crowd shouting, "Catch rats and sell them for money, brothers, go," the young man who quickly reacted was the first to hit them with a stick. A stick went down, and a flattened gerbil. Killing a gerbil and putting it in your pocket is 10 yuan, 10 is 100, and 100 is 1000. It's just like picking up money. Therefore, those scattered people quickly joined the army of picking up money under the temptation of money. This feeling of earning more than 10,000 yuan a day is definitely the most unforgettable day for these people who came from the slums of the southern desert. The battle continued. Jiang Chen stood on the top of a tall bunker. Several lost gerbils ran to the top of the bunker. A soldier stepped on one and killed it. After stepping on the gerbil, the soldier carefully moved it to his side with his foot. The soldier took advantage of Jiang Chen's inattention to pick up the gerbil and put it in his pocket. "You don't have to protect me. Go down and pick up gerbils." Jiang Chen sighed. Soldiers are also people. Everyone wants to make money, not to mention that this is picking up money. After hearing this, the soldiers were so excited that they almost knelt down to Jiang Chen. After Jiang Chen waved his hand to let them go down, he fell into deep thought alone. I don't know how the anti-rat campaign in China and Pakistan is going. It seems that my side has not even started yet, but it is about to end. From early morning until noon, the gerbils in the desert continued to rush towards Budo City. Inside the defense line, the arms of the people waving were sore. However, they showed full smiles on their faces. "That's great. I made at least 20,000 yuan this morning. If I catch gerbils every day, I can buy the small house I live in a month." Don't be lazy. When the sun gets hot, the gerbils will hide in the sand. People from another district will come in the afternoon. There's not much time. After a supervisor said this, he secretly beat 2 gerbils to death with a baton and put them in his pocket. When they heard that the gerbils would hide in the desert afternoon, a group of people got anxious. "This is all money," so one of the people shouted while catching mice, "Wait until the gerbils hide in the desert. Can't we just dig it out directly?" Sure enough, the wisdom of the working people is infinite, but afternoon, even in winter, the temperature in the desert will be as high as 40 degrees. With such high temperatures and superstorms, running to the desert to dig gerbils is simply looking for death. Chapter 837, Bandits Attack. The leader has ordered that no one is allowed to go outside to dig for gerbils at noon. Okay, everyone hurry up and catch them. At noon, you will carry the gerbils you have caught to the truck behind, and President Wang will weigh them and pay you. Fatty Wang originally wanted to count and pay them one by one, but he never expected that there would be so many gerbils in the desert. And he also greatly underestimated the determination of the people in Budo City to catch gerbils to make money. He thought that many gerbils would take the opportunity to escape to the city, and then the people in the city would dig them out little by little. But what Fatty Wang didn't expect was that this group of people would not let go of gerbils as big as 2 fingernails. So how could they tolerate them running to the city? So looking at the piles of sacks on the road, Fatty Wang could only choose to weigh them to calculate the number of rats. At noon, the temperature in the desert rose suddenly. When Jiang Chen really took off his shirt, he suddenly found that there were many people outside the city. He thought that the enemy was invading, and Jiang Chen hurriedly shouted to Williams, "Williams, prepare for battle. Everyone prepare for battle." Jiang Chen still has enemies in the desert. The Akhagan Youth Army has always wanted to come to Budo City to plunder. Especially now that the Akhagan Youth Army has reached a desperate situation in the desert. His master, the Rosha Kingdom, has completely abandoned them. Jiang Chen also made it clear that Sahara would never accept them as a group of bandits. So now they can only make a living by selling various energy and minerals to Pakistan. Brother Jiang, those people are not enemies. They are the people from the West District who were just transferred here. The people from the new district didn't make a single gerbil, so they climbed over the city wall and ran to the desert to dig for gerbils. After Williams finished speaking, Jiang Chen frowned and said, "Isn't this nonsense? It's so hot in the desert. Now they run in to dig for bamboo rats when the storm blows. Isn't this playing with people's lives?" After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Williams also sighed and said, "Brother Jiang, these are refugees from the Khanate. The lives of refugees are worth less than bamboo rats. When we were in the south, in the summer, we didn't even have a place to shelter from the sun. We had no water and no food. But we all survived. Now everyone has enough food and water to drink. The only thing missing is money. So, now that they can make money, they won't miss the opportunity, even if it costs their lives." Thinking of his previous life, Williams was really sad. He was not sad for himself, but for those who died before they had a chance to live a good life. There will be plenty of opportunities to make money in the future. I will bring more companies to your place to open branches. I promise that, as long as they work hard, they will definitely live a happier life than the people in most countries. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Williams wiped the tears from his face and said, "Thank you, Jiang brother, you are really the savior of the Ahan people, but let him go out to dig this time. The wind and sand in the desert can't threaten them. After all, they are people who survived from rat holes. They are a group of people who are blessed by God." After Williams finished speaking, Jiang Chen looked at the people outside the city who were digging bamboo rats with great enthusiasm, and he shook his head helplessly. Perhaps whoever stops them from earning tens of thousands a day at this moment is their enemy. So Jiang Chen could only let them go. When evening came, there was no more gerbils in the defense line, and at the same time, there was no more civilians in the defense line. Hundreds of thousands of people were like farmers catching fish. They kept waving fishing nets in the sand sea outside the defense line. Those bamboo rats that were originally extremely arrogant were like mice fleeing in panic. They no longer had the arrogance and domineering attitude they had when they came. By night, the people in the desert had fought their way out of the room for more than 10 miles. Late at night, it was too cold outside, and Williams had to order all the people to move back to the city. Late at night, Fatty Wang did not go back. After a busy day, Fatty Wang built several temporary open tops to the west of Budo City. He hired thousands of people to peel gerbils for him. After the gerbil skins were peeled off, workers nailed them to boards and put them outside the desert to dry naturally. After the gerbil's meat was harvested, Fatty Wang had people pickle all the gerbils with salt and prepare to sell them outside in the spring. Jiang Chen went to see Fatty Wang's temporary factory. Outside the factory, the skins of more than 100,000 mice were nailed to boards, which was really spectacular. "Fatty Wang, don't forget to give me more money when you make money." Williams had already returned to the city in the bunker, leaving Fatty Wang and Jiang Chen alone, drinking and monitoring the situation in the desert. Okay, Brother Chen, can you give Channel Group a call later? I'll send them a few gerbil skins later and ask them to design quickly. Let's see if my goods can be made and released this winter, and let me get some money back in the winter. Channel is a large luxury goods company, and their stores are in more than 100 countries and regions around the world. 2 years ago, Channel established a branch in Salmon City. Jiang Chen invested in this branch, and now almost all high-end luxury goods in China are launched by this company. Okay, I'll call them later. Fatty Wang, as a brother, I'm thinking about you all the time. Just a few hours ago, I helped you negotiate a big deal again. When Fatty Wang heard that Jiang Chen had negotiated a big deal for him again, this guy became happy. Sure, Brother Chen, don't say anything. Next time you need money, I will give you as much money as Fatty Wang has. Fatty Wang patted his chest and promised. He looked at Jiang Chen and asked, Brother Chen, what big business are you introducing to me? Aren't you in the desert locust business? Now the desert locusts have also invaded Abra, and I have taken care of the locusts in Abra. Now all the natural locusts in Abra belong to you. Jiang Chen finished speaking, and when he heard that there were locusts in Abra, Fatty Wang hurriedly shook his head. No, I won't do this business. Brother Chen, you don't know that Europeans and West Asians don't eat this stuff. Who can I sell the locusts to if I produce more there? Desert locusts can only be sold to Chinese and Southeast Asians who like to eat them. The Abra people basically don't eat this thing, so if you do desert locust business there, you can only lose so much money that you won't even recognize your own mother. Fatty Wang, why has your mind level dropped again? The Abrahams don't eat locusts, can't you process them and ship them to China to sell? After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Fatty Wang shook his head and said, no, let's not talk about how much it costs to ship this stuff from Abraham to China. Do you know how much the tariff alone costs? With this cost, wouldn't it be better for me to raise desert locusts on the grassland myself? Chapter 838, The Chief's Savior. Fatty Wang crossed his legs when he said this. He was no longer the easy to cheat Fatty Wang. Fatty Wang, don't say I didn't leave you the opportunity to make money. Take this business and I'll solve the tariff issue for you. In addition, the price of the most natural desert locusts you transported from Abra must be much more expensive than the ones you raise yourself. The higher price is enough for your shipping fee, right? After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Fatty Wang took a sip of wine and said, you have to help me with the tariff issue. In addition, give me some land so that I can build a farmhouse there. This is easy to discuss. Now Abra's tourism is doing very well. There are a lot of Chinese and East Asians who travel to Abra every year. If Fatty Wang can build a locust factory in Abra, he can sell a lot to these tourists. Moreover, most of the tourists who go to Abra are very rich, so the price of locusts is naturally high. The most important thing is that Fatty Wang can get these raw materials without spending a penny, which is simply a profitable thing. I can only help you negotiate for this. Whether it will work in the end depends on your own efforts. 2 days later, the yellow sand from the superstorm completely submerged the cactus defense line. The yellow sand blew onto the windbreak wall, and the block sand piled up into a mountain under the windbreak wall. We can't go on like this. If we don't go into the desert to solve the problem at the source of the desert, the sand will sooner or later submerge the windbreak wall. On the wall, Jiang Chen became worried as he watched the increasing sandstorm. The windbreak walls and other facilities he built to intercept windmills were only temporary solutions. With the speed at which the Sahara desert was advancing, even if he built a higher windbreak wall, it would be like trying to stop a chariot with his arms. But when it comes to greening the desert, how easy is that? Now it's a problem for him to even supply France and other desert alliance countries with grass seedlings. Not to mention greening the desert on a large scale. Even if all the money in the world was concentrated on him alone, he couldn't do it. Brother Jiang, at least this thing helped us to stop the sandstorm. Look, we also stopped the attack of the gerbils. Not only did we stop the attack of the gerbils, but we also turned waste into treasure and let the gerbils earn a lot of money for us. Seeing Jiang Chen's great sorrow, Williams persuaded him. He felt that being able to feed the residents of Budu City was already God's greatest gift. Moreover, now his people not only have enough food, but also become rich. This is something Williams would never dare to imagine. After all, Jiang Chen did what the United States did not do. I hope everything will be fine. Williams, I'll leave this to you. I'm going to the desert committee for a meeting. Jiang Chen left the bunker and rushed to Aachen City. Zicheng Desert Committee. Jiang Chen applied for a temporary meeting on desert research. He wanted to share his experience of victory over the gerbils with everyone. The chairman of the desert committee notified each desert country leader. Half an hour later, the desert country leaders meeting was officially held in the cloud. After the video was opened, many people looked very tired, and it seemed that they had been worried about the sandstorm. Good evening, everyone. Today, this meeting was held temporarily because the Sahara region has achieved a preliminary victory in the battle against gerbils. So today, we will let Mr. Jiang, the person in charge of the Sahara, share his experience with everyone. After the chairman of the Sand Committee finished speaking, several national leaders who were deeply damaged by gerbils were instantly excited when they heard that Jiang Chen had a way to control gerbils. How to control gerbils? This group of damn rats is simply invincible. They have been pouring from the Kanat to the border of our Pakistani country, and all our defense lines have been conquered by them. Now I don't know how many rats have run to the grasslands of our country. After the president of Pakistan finished speaking, the head of the Chinese Sand Management Committee also sighed and said, "We dispatched thousands of troops, but these rats still ate up all the lawns we arranged outside the new province. We are preparing to transfer a batch of cats from China, but unfortunately cats cannot adapt to the harsh environment of sand and dust. We use rodenticide to kill gerbils. We have poured hundreds of tons of gerbil medicine on the border. Now our border is almost becoming a plague land, and the people living on the border are infected with plague. Even so, there are still tens of thousands of rats in the desert coming out of the sand dunes. After the head of the Luosha country finished speaking, the chairman of the sand committee frowned. It seems that most people have failed in this battle against gerbils. This is really not good news. Excuse me, how does the Saharan region deal with these gerbils? The chairman of the desert committee looked at Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen did not talk about how to deal with the gerbils first. Instead, he made an application to Abra. Dear Chief Abra, before we talk about solving the gerbil issue, can I ask you to exempt the tariffs on desert locusts from our country? After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Abra and the leaders of China turned around and discussed for a while, and they nodded. We suggest that all countries in the Desert Committee Alliance can actively allow companies from various countries to participate in desert management. For this reason, we also call on countries to provide tax-free services to these companies. Here I announce that our China will reduce tariffs for these companies that manage desert poisoning. After China finished speaking, other countries soon expressed their opinions. In fact, there is nothing to express. After all, when the desert locusts arrive, if you don't ask those companies that can manage the desert locusts to come, then the desert locusts may turn all the crops in your country into food. That's good. We will send a team and company to control locusts to your Abra as soon as possible. They want to register a company in your place. When the time comes, please give them more care. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, the 50-year-old Abra chief bowed to Jiang Chen. He chose to get close to Jiang Chen, and he did get a lot of benefits from Jiang Chen. For example, Jiang Chen sold him nearly 20 billion yuan of grass seeds at half price in the fall. Chief Abra scattered these grass seeds in Beatty, and now Beatty has become an oasis in the desert. Beatty has also been rated as one of the most worthwhile tourist cities in the world. Let them come. When the time comes, I will definitely meet them in person. They will be the savior of our Abra. If it weren't for Fatty Wang's team, I'm afraid that, once these locusts are rampant, Chief Abra's oasis will be ruined. So the chief welcomed the arrival of Jiang Chen's team more than anyone else. Okay, now let me share with you the experience of our own gerbils. Chapter 839 Eat them all. The way we deal with gerbils is to eat them. Jiang Chen finished speaking, and the cloud conference room was in an uproar. What? Eat them? How to eat so many rats? After the president of LAC finished speaking, the president of ROSA also said, how to eat gerbils? So many gerbils come together, who will catch them? A group of people asked curiously, and Jiang Chen played a spectacular scene of people imbued to catching gerbils on his mobile phone. After the video was played, Jiang Chen introduced it to everyone again. This kind of gerbil is not an ordinary mouse. It contains a lot of nutritious minerals. These pure natural minerals from the desert are particularly useful for many children who lack various vitamins. In addition, the fur of these gerbils is soft and tender, which is a rare animal fur. Therefore, we set up a company specializing in processing and producing gerbil meat and gerbil fur. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, a group of leaders looked confused. Do you mean you buy gerbils? After the person in charge of ROSA finished speaking, Jiang Chen shook his head. We don't buy gerbils. I just tell you that gerbil meat is edible and gerbil skins can keep you warm. You can set up your own business and call on the people to catch bamboo rats. Jiang Chen finished speaking, and the others shook their heads. The borders of every country are sparsely populated. Because since it is a border, it must be a place where the desert is rampant. No one wants to live in a place where the desert is rampant. It's just that Jiang Chen City is an accident after the war. We don't have so many people here. We want to ask for your assistance. We also ask for assistance. Take the gerbils away. We are willing to pay you extra labor fees. Can you help us catch gerbils? After the person in charge of Luosha country finished speaking, the persons in charge of the new province of Huaguo, where gerbils are rampant, soon also asked for it. Jiang Chen was a little surprised. He never expected that there would be such a trick. But Jiang Chen thought about it. It seems that he can really take this job. However, before taking this job, he still has to discuss it with Fatty Wang. I need to make a phone call before I can reply to you. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, several persons in charge nodded. After obtaining the consent of the chairman of the Sand Committee, Jiang Chen walked out of the meeting room. Beep. Soon, Jiang Chen called Fatty Wang. Fatty Wang on the other end of the phone was arguing with a client. The price of gerbils must be higher than bamboo rats. Do you know how risky it is to go to the desert to catch these things? Don't talk nonsense. Don't tell me how many gerbils you can digest. After removing the skin, 20 each. This is the lowest price. Hey, brother Jiang, what's the matter? Tell me quickly, my other phones are ringing. Hey, Liu, I'm free. I'll send you 2,000 gerbils tomorrow. You can try selling them first. Hey, Leo Song, can your game restaurant chain digest 8,000? If you can digest 10,000, I'll sell them to you for 15 each. Fatty Wang. Damn, why don't you let your subordinates do the job of selling gerbils? Jiang Chen shouted, and Fatty Wang put down the other phones and said, I don't feel at ease to hand it over to others. You have to catch them yourself in the early market. Brother Jiang, I can sell all the gerbils I caught these 2 days with my bamboo rat channel. When my breeding farm is built in a while, I will put in a wave of advertisements on our TV station and the TV station in China. By the way, the research results of the hospital came out yesterday. What's the result? Who went to the hospital? Gerbils. Gerbil bones contain more minerals and can supplement calcium. If you throw gerbils into a pot and cook them and give them to people who are calcium deficient, it will be more effective than taking calcium tablets. After Wang Pangzi finished speaking, Jiang Chen seemed to have guessed Wang Pangzi's next plan. Are you going to sell gerbil soup? What soup? I'm going to sell frozen gerbils. When the appraisal certificate from Sahara Pharmaceutical University comes out, I will invest 300 million in an advertisement. This time I will definitely make gerbils a big hit. Just wait and see me make money. Wang Pangzi has already calculated it. Not to mention the Chinese market. Even if he sells them in the Sahara scenic area, he can sell all the gerbils in Budu City. Jiang Chen saw that Wang Pangzi could create a market, and he had the Sahara Animal Husbandry Group and Wanjiang Food Group, which were worth hundreds of billions of yuan, as his backing, so he felt that it was time to cooperate with him. Fatty Wang, you are so lucky. Today I have negotiated with China and Abra, and they will give you tax-free locusts. When you go to Abra, the chief will personally receive you, and the land will be approved for you. This is not all, because I know you want to do gerbil business, so I specially took over the gerbil business in China and Laos for you. You have contracted the gerbils in these places, which is equivalent to controlling the gerbil supply channels of the whole world. Are you happy? After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Fatty Wang scratched his head and said, I'm not happy. Business in other countries cannot be done. It is difficult to obtain a license for gerbils, and there are many inspections. If they accuse me of trafficking in wild animals and arrest me again, I will cry to death. After Fatty Wang finished speaking, Jiang Chen was also dumbfounded. Yes, why didn't he think of this level? But, don't worry, I'll get their leaders to give you the green light. Fatty Wang, don't say I don't take care of you. If someone else takes the gerbils from Xinjiang, you'll have competitors in the country. Can you still sell a gerbil for 20? Jiang Chen finished speaking, and Fatty Wang nodded. This was the truth. In business, monopoly is the most profitable, because you can set the price yourself, and the price you set is the price. Okay, then, I'll also collect gerbils from these places. But brother Jiang, you have to make it clear to them that I want to build a factory in their local area to process them. This thing will stink if it is shipped to Budu City. Okay, that's it. It's still 5 yuan per gerbil. You prepare the money, and I'll help you with the rest. Jiang Chen hung up the phone after he finished speaking. Apart from anything else, Jiang Chen can make at least hundreds of millions from these two businesses. Jiang Chen cooperates with Fatty Wang, and the matter of collecting rats will be handed over to Fatty Wang. The cost of rat control paid by other countries will all belong to Jiang Chen. After hanging up the phone, Jiang Chen called Williams again. Hello, Williams, how many people can Budo City spare to go out and catch gerbils? As far as Jiang Chen knows, in order to let everyone make money and enjoy the gift of nature, Williams divided the area and asked everyone to catch gerbils. Therefore, there are people left in Budo City. Brother Jiang, what's wrong? Can bamboo rats be caught in other places? Yes, I have taken over the gerbil business on the border between Xinjiang and Luoxia. If you have a lot of people, send them out to earn extra money. The price is the same as in Budo City, but your government will pay for food, accommodation, and travel expenses. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Williams was instantly excited when he heard that he could go out to catch gerbils to make money. But when it came to asking the municipal government to pay for food, accommodation, and travel expenses, he hesitated again. Brother Jiang, we have enough people. Even a 7 or 8-year-old child can do the job of catching gerbils. But, although we have a lot of people, our municipal government has no money. Chapter 840, Taking over the world gerbil market. Now most of the finances of Budo City are borrowed from other cities, or donated from other places. It is really impossible for Budo City to pay for the travel expenses and board and lodging of millions of people. You should borrow from Sahara Bank first. Later, I will allow you to charge a management fee of $1 per gerbil. This $1 management fee is definitely enough for your various expenses for accommodation and meals. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Williams agreed without thinking. Don't underestimate this $1 commission. Now a child can catch hundreds of gerbils a day. An adult can catch thousands of gerbils a day, and the commission is 1,000 yuan a day. Okay, when will Jiang brother need people? Wait for my news. Jiang Chen hung up the phone after speaking. The problem of gerbil acquisition was solved, and the problem of people was also perfectly solved. The next step is to negotiate the price with Luoxia. Back in the meeting room, a group of heads of countries were waiting anxiously. Here we are. Here we are. How is it? When can you send us people to catch rats? Send us people first. We will pay a high price. We can't stand it anymore. If you can't stand it, how can we? There are so many gerbils. They are more powerful than locusts, you know. After a group of leaders quarreled, Jiang Chen sighed. It is rare that there are people who almost fight for money these days. I'm really sorry. I just said hello to the workers in Budo City. None of them are willing to leave their homes and go to other countries or cities. In addition, I contacted the company that purchased the gerbils. They said that due to limited funds, they only built factories in Budo City. They can't buy land to build factories in your city. Jiang Chen said with some disappointment, and several leaders of the gerbil battlefield became anxious. If there is no money, we can provide factory land for free, and we can also build factories for him for free. We will also build factories for free. As long as the workers who catch gerbils come, we will provide them with wages. We will provide them with a minimum wage subsidy every day. After the rich Luoxia country said this, the other two countries frowned instantly. Because of the large land area and small population in Luoxia country, not many people are willing to catch gerbils. But China is different from Pakistan. China has a large population and a large number of poor people. Many of them even live the same life as the refugees in Budo City. Come to our new province. We can also take all the workers here for free. In addition, we will subsidize their accommodation and meals. Once the problem of rat infestation is truly solved, we will also award them hero medals. After the head of the new province finished speaking, Jiang Chen shook his head. It was obvious that he was not interested in certificates and medals like China. I think our workers prefer to go to Luoxia country. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, the head of Luoxia country became excited. Come on, we will also award them hero medals. Wait, we will implement tax exemption activities for your gerbil company. This is our biggest concession. After the leader in Beijing, who was responsible for following up on the desert issue finished speaking, Jiang Chen pretended to hesitate. If Fatty Wang was here at this moment, he would definitely pinch Jiang Chen's neck and ask him to agree quickly. Because tax exemption is so important, his gerbil food co limited pays millions of taxes a year. Because his main customers are China and Southeast Asia. In addition, the gerbil fur he produces is a high-end luxury product, and each country has the heaviest tariffs on high-end luxury goods. if these countries, where luxury goods are mainly sold, can give him tax-free activities, relying on the brand effective channel, plus the price of wages, it will be difficult for his gerbil fur not to make money. Pakistan President, what do you think? Jiang Chen finished speaking, and the Pakistani president shrugged his shoulders. Pakistan is not as rich as China and Russia. Most of the people in their country are middle-class families, and their country is also a developing country. So they want to make various promises to Jiang Chen, but they can't do it. I can only give you tax-free activities. In addition, if your factory is built in our Pakistan, we will provide you with cheap labor and we will provide you with a venue for free. After the Pakistani president finished speaking, Jiang Chen understood. This Pakistani country definitely doesn't want to use its own workers. He also wants his workers to work for him and then earn some money for himself. Forget it, just pretend I didn't say anything. Speaking of cheap labor, there are tens of millions of people in Budo City and millions of people in Malacca City who don't have proper jobs. How could he give these job opportunities to Pakistanis? Putity, if you also exempt our gerbil companies from taxes, we can sign the cloud contract now. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Pudati nodded. No problem, we can sign the contract now. Jiang Chen also wanted to cooperate with Laotia country for a reason. Laotia country is in the north, and their winter is quite cold. Jiang Chen's various things for gerbils to keep warm can be sold to Laotia country, so this is the largest sales place for the gerbil fur company. Then let's start signing the contract. New province is the same as Rosa country. You didn't provide us with travel expenses and accommodation subsidies. I will provide you with people to catch gerbils. You provide us with tariff-free activities and free gerbil factories. We will set up gerbil production companies in your place. We will continue to undertake gerbil prevention and capture activities in both places until all gerbils are caught. Jiang Chen Sheng and the heads of the two places nodded, and a cloud contract signing event soon began. After the chairman of the Sand Committee drafted the contract, Jiang Chen signed a cloud contract with the two countries under the witness of the member states of the Sand Committee. In addition, taking this opportunity, Jiang Chen signed a locust control activity with Abra. After all the contracts were signed, Jiang Chen promised them that he would immediately send workers and people from the gerbil company to take over the gerbil battlefields in New Province and Rosa country. After the meeting, Jiang Chen also made a special call to Fatty Wang and Williams. When calling Fatty Wang, Jiang Chen also deliberately extorted a sum of money from Fatty Wang on the issue of tariffs. Of course, when calling Williams, Jiang Chen agreed to give all the workers round-trip fares and living allowances to Williams. This money will be used to build hospitals and various schools in Budo City. At the same time, the money taken from the workers will also be used for the treatment of all injured people in Budo City. Night fell, and the future city was bright. Jiang Chen was not in a hurry to go to Budo City. He wanted to quietly enjoy the night without the threat of artillery shells. It has been 7 years since I came here. These 7 years have turned a young boy into a calm, capable, and fearless young man. Chapter 841, How to Deal with the Sand Dunes in Budo City. No matter how much we build cities, we will never reach the end. After we sell the oil city, no matter what happens, I must move forward to the desert. Jiang Chen said, and walked into the endless prosperity. In winter, the storm continued to advance towards the Sahara region. The violent sandstorms quickly submerged most of the Akhanate. When spring was about to come, the Sahara Desert had already advanced to the border of Pakistan. At this moment, only two places, Budo City and Malacca, were left in the entire Akhanate. With the arrival of spring, the sandstorms in the desert gradually weakened. When the warm spring breeze blew, and when the apricot blossoms of Xinghuling filled the valley, the winter storm finally ended. When the wind in the desert stopped completely, the entire Sahara region began to revel. Spring is the peak season for tourism in the Sahara region. As soon as the sandstorms here ended, Jiang Chen became busy like a spinning top. Brother Jiang, you must attend the meeting of the Sand Committee tonight. All the participants are the top leaders of various countries. It's rare for them to come to our desert. That's right, Brother Jiang. Our Saharan region has always been unpopular in the world because of the suppression of the United States and other countries. Now it's not easy for so many people to come here for a meeting. You must come to participate anyway. Moreover, the Xi'an Gaia Alliance organization will also hold a meeting at the Future City Hotel. After you attend the meeting of the Sand Committee, you can directly attend this meeting. After Guan Ku finished speaking, in order to attract Jiang Chen's attention, Xia Heidong made a special request. Okay, I'll go there in the afternoon. The sunshine in the early morning was infinitely good. Jiang Chen stretched his body and started a busy day. In the morning, he and Li Yiren went to visit the gerbil catching heroes who came back from Luosha and Huago. According to Li Yiren's request, Jiang Chen must rush to Budu City at 9 o'clock. He must first award those who have made outstanding contributions in the winter storm. After the award ceremony, he went to visit the gerbil catching heroes. Budu City and Malacca City are both cities composed of Akha people. According to Li Yiren's request, Jiang Chen must do his best to appease these special ethnic groups. Otherwise, the Sahara region will be in endless trouble. Jiang Chen got dressed and was waiting for him in the car. The two drove to the station and took the subway to Kari City. After leaving Kari City, a special driver drove them to Budo City. After leaving Kari City, Jiang Chen specifically asked the driver to take them through the Windbreak Avenue. Not long after the car passed Malacca City, the Windbreak Avenue in front became darker and darker. It was early morning at this moment, and the sun rose from the southeast, but it took a long time to find a wide road. Jiang Chen stuck his head out of the window and saw the sandhills piled up for dozens of miles outside the tall glass wall. It was this sandhill that blocked the sunlight. Looking at the endless sandhills along the way, Jiang Chen's heart was full of worries. No, the sandhills outside the windbreak are so high. If they are not quickly transported away, the next winter storm will pass over the windbreak and reach Budo City. This is definitely the biggest hidden danger in Budo City. But how easy is it to move these unknown tons of sandhills? When Jiang Chen was thinking hard about how to solve the problem of the sandhills, his phone suddenly vibrated with a ding-dong sound. Hearing the vibration of the phone, Jiang Chen reached out and opened the phone. The people who now know his phone number are the core personnel of Sahara, and they must be looking for him for something very important. Jiang Chen opened the phone, and to his surprise, the caller this time was not a Sahara staff. Ding dong. System prompt. If the player successfully resists the winter storm, the system will automatically give the player a new seed. Please check it. New seed. Jiang Chen was very surprised. The system had not given him a new seed for a long time. This made Jiang Chen mistakenly believe that his city had been built and the system had temporarily closed its new seed supply channel. Let's see what it is first, Jiang Chen said as he clicked on the new seed prompt. What surprised Jiang Chen was that the system actually gave him building material seeds this time. Building material seeds are great. He insisted and clicked on the building material seed pavilion. Sure enough, a new seed appeared at the bottom of the seed pavilion. This new seed looked like a high-raised mining machine, and Jiang Chen was even more puzzled when he saw it. Could it be an oil excavator? Now that human oil mining technology has become very mature, several oil bases under his command have been handed over to major oil companies for mining. So now it doesn't need an oil mining machine at all. Click and see, Jiang Chen said as he clicked on the seed, and soon the seed introduction popped up. Seed introduction. The Desert Super Silicon or Extraction Mining Machine seed is a regular silicon or mining machine approved by the Interstellar Alliance. This mining machine can extract the purest silicon ore, and the extracted silicon ore can be used in every corner of life. After reading the seed introduction, Jiang Chen was puzzled. What's the use of this silicon ore mining machine? Wait, isn't the sand in the desert the place with the largest reserves of silicon ore? If I use a mining machine to mine the silicon ore in the sand, then won't the problem of the sandhill outside Budo City be solved? After thinking through this problem, Jiang Chen instantly became excited. If the sandhill can be turned into a silicon ore mining base, it will not only solve the sandhill problem that threatens Budo City, but also solve the employment problem in Budo City. Now Budo City is the poorest place in the entire Sahara region. There are tens of millions of people in Budo City, and they don't have any jobs. Most people rely on urban minimum living allowances to maintain their lives. If Jiang Chen can build a silicon ore factory outside Budo City, then young people can go to work in the silicon ore factory. Not only that, Jiang Chen also knows that silicon ore has many uses. Silicon ore is the main component of glass. The most well-known company in the Sahara region is glass, and silicon ore for making glass has always been the main factor affecting Sahara glass going global. So if Jiang Chen sets up a glass industrial park outside of Budo City, this will perfectly solve the raw material supply problem of Sahara glass. It can also solve the employment problem of tens of thousands of people in Budo City. In addition, silicon ore can also be used to make ceramics. Now is the critical moment for the revival of ancient Chinese culture. Ceramic culture, as an important part of Chinese culture, has also been greatly revived. So if Jiang Chen builds a ceramic industrial park in Budo City, then Sahara's ceramic products may have a place in China and even in the world. And Jiang Chen can also solve the problem of ceramic product sales for him. Chapter 842. Building a ceramic base. If a brand wants to become well known, advertising is undoubtedly the best way. So as long as the ceramic products of Budo City can be made exquisitely and of good quality, Jiang Chen can help him promote them for free on Sahara TV, Zide TV, live broadcast platforms and other places. Moreover, Jiang Chen can also sell its ceramic products on Sahara shops all over the world. Not only that, Wanjiang wine industry has now become the best-selling wine brand in China. At that time, Wanjiang wine can also connect with the ceramic industry base. You should know that most of the current high-end wine bottles are made of ceramics. So every year, Wanjiang wine alone is enough for the ceramic base to take off. What's more, the Sahara region is still a place dominated by tourism. If they make some exquisite ceramic gadgets, when they sell them to tourists, this is also a huge market. In addition, silicon ore can also be used to process various adhesives. With this point, a comprehensive silicon ore industry base can still be built. This kind of industrial base can also help Budo City solve the employment problems of thousands of people. The 3 industrial bases that Jiang Chen plans to build are all for ordinary people. It also has a future development plan, which is for young college students. That's right, silicon ore can not only make glass and ceramics, but also silicon wafers. Silicon wafers are the most used thing in integrated circuits now. So if Jiang Chen can build the world's largest silicon wafer production base here, he will be able to perfectly solve the employment problem of Budo University graduates in the future. After the car arrived in Budo City, Jiang Chen was welcomed by the people of Budo City like a savior. There were crowds of people holding flowers on both sides of the road. In addition to the uncongested roads, you can't see any gaps where no one is standing. Jiang Chen leaned out of the car window and waved to the people. Many people were moved and shed tears on the spot. At the Budo City TV center, Jiang Chen gave a speech about the future of Budo City. In the speech, Jiang Chen proposed a 5-year plan. Jiang Chen wants to build at least 100 super companies with a starting value of 1 billion in Budo City within 5 years. Jiang Chen wants to solve the employment problem of 90% of the people in Budo City within 5 years. And Jiang Chen wants to allow all children in Budo City to go to middle school for free within 6 years. Jiang Chen wants to make all college students in Budo City receive free education within 10 years. In addition, Budo City will enter the era of free medical care within 10 years. Jiang Chen can do what he says. Budo City is now the poorest city in the entire Sahara region. There are no oil and other mineral deposits here. There is only one mineral called blue diamond in Budo Canyon. Jiang Chen plans to build an industrial park featuring blue diamond mining and processing here. In addition, Jiang Chen will also launch the Budo Canyon tourist area. The Canyon tourist area is a tourist attraction featuring war. A year ago, the US coalition forces had attacked Budo Canyon many times. Here Jiang Chen destroyed the US coalition forces in an organized manner. Of course, countless people and patriots died here. So Jiang Chen plans to build this place into a tourist attraction. The first is to commemorate these people and patriots, and the second is to tell everyone that the Sahara region has never been a place that fears power. In addition, in order to achieve his goals, Jiang Chen also made relevant connections with several other cities. Jiang Chen asked the capable cities to relocate all kinds of branches, especially labor-intensive factories, to Budo City. This will not only reduce costs for enterprises, but also solve the employment problem in Budo City. Therefore, Jiang Chen believes that in less than 5 years, the employment problem in Budo City will be completely solved. After giving a speech on TV, the people in Budo City cried with joy after watching Jiang Chen's speech in various squares in Budo City. They never thought that as Jiang Chen's former enemy and the running dog of the coalition army, the dream they did not realize in the coalition army would be realized here by their own enemy. Thank you, leader. Long live the leader. Long live the leader. Follow the leader to the death and fight for the desert to the death. Someone in the square shouted, and then the shouting pushed the entire square like a wave. Jiang Chen left in a car amid everyone's shouting. He had already gathered the support of the people in Budo City, and he no longer had to worry about the Canet making trouble behind him. After leaving the radio and television building, Jiang Chen rushed to the South Square. After awarding medals to the people's representatives, who came back from catching gerbils abroad in the South Square, he gave them a speech. Jiang Chen hoped that they could go to all parts of the world every year to win a large amount of foreign exchange so that the economy of Budo City could develop rapidly. After hearing Jiang Chen's words, many enthusiastic young people were eager to try. Don't worry, leader, we will return to Luotia soon. We will build a factory there and sell our products to the whole Luotia. Don't worry, leader, we have signed up for the locust eradication plan. We will definitely make more money and pay more taxes to make the people of Budo City rich. Once unity is formed, it is really terrifying. Seeing that everyone has a united heart, Jiang Chen is very satisfied. In the evening, Jiang Chen asked the driver to take Li Yiren back first. When Li Yiren left, Jiang Chen drove away from Budo City alone. Under a brilliant sunset, Jiang Chen climbed up the high windbreak sand hill. This sand hill is really high, more than 30 stories high. If Jiang Chen hadn't been nimble, it would probably be dark by the time he climbed up. Standing on the high sand hill, you can look up and enjoy the vast sunset glow changing its appearance in the sky. For the people of Budo City, the sunset glow is really nothing new. However, for countries such as Southeast Asia that are deeply devastated by sand, a brilliant sunset glow has long become their most enviable thing. So sitting on the sandhill, Jiang Chen suddenly had another idea to make money. Watching the sunset and sunrise on the grassland is a feeling, and watching the sunset and sunrise on the sandhill is another unique taste. Especially the vast desert in front of you, and the vague city behind you. This combination of dreamy effects will definitely make people intoxicated. So, if you build a sandhill scenic spot here, then you still worry about tourists not coming? Thinking of this, Jiang Chen became more determined to build Budo City into a tourist base. Get started. Jiang Chen started the construction. After he said that, he has never been a hesitant person. Just like he firmly believes that once tourists come in, all the industries in Budo City will be revitalized. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 843, Alliance Eliminated Products. It is not easy to build a sand dune sunset scenic spot. First of all, Jiang Chen has to choose a sand pile that is most suitable for this scenic spot. Secondly, Jiang Chen has to build a lot of roads. And finally, Jiang Chen has to take all kinds of safety measures to the extreme. Speaking of choosing sand piles, Jiang Chen thinks that the sand pile under his feet that connects to the Budo Canyon is very good. This sand dune is high enough, and there is no shelter in front of it. And the part of this sand dune near the west is a very gentle slope. This allows countless people to lie on the sand slope to watch the sunset in the west. It's here, Jiang Chen said, and dug a road from the windbreak wall with a super excavator. After the road was opened, Jiang Chen used one-click planting to plant a road around the sand dune. After planting the road, Jiang Chen built a super parking lot on the other side of the road. After planting, Jiang Chen built a town next to the parking lot. The houses in the town are all small villas of about 3 floors. Jiang Chen planted green grass around the small villas. From a distance, it looks like an oasis in the desert. Of course, in order to increase the viewing value of this scenic spot, Jiang Chen built a lake on the east side of the town. The area of the lake is not large, but it is still no problem to solve the drinking water problem of tourists in a small town. After building a town that can accommodate 50,000 to 60,000 people, Jiang Chen began to continue construction. Only a small town and a sandhill, where you can watch the sunset. This certainly cannot support a scenic spot that can change the fate of a city. So Jiang Chen continued to move forward, and he found a smoother sandhill. The slope of this sandhill is on the north and south sides. It is not suitable for watching the sunset or the sunrise, but it is suitable for building a sand sliding base. So Jiang Chen directly built a road from the town to the sandhill. He built sand sliding passages on both sides of the sandhill, and then built a pavilion on the top of the mountain. Jiang Chen also planned to build a cableway, and the cableway matter could be left to the person in charge of the scenic spot. After planting the sand sliding base, Jiang Chen walked forward again, and he chose another sandhill, where he could watch the sunrise. Then he built a sunrise base there. After nearly a month of hard work, a brand new scenic spot finally appeared in front of Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen named it the Sand Mountain Sunset International Scenic Area. After building the scenic area, Jiang Chen drove to start new construction. He rushed to the south of Budo City and stopped in front of several tall sand mountains. The silicon mine base will be placed here. The southeast is the direction where the Death Desert is coming from, so the main wind and sand that Jiang Chen needs to deal with are here. After selecting a good place, Jiang Chen built a 10-lane road under the sand mountain that was more than 10 meters higher than the windbreak wall. This road is connected to the windbreak avenue. After planting the road, Jiang Chen planted a super bulldozer. After he used the super bulldozer to dig a flat land under the sand mountain, the mining base was built. It's time to start planting the super silicon ore mining machine, Jiang Chen said, took out his mobile phone, and clicked on the seed pavilion. Let's take a look at the price first, Jiang Chen said, and clicked on the price introduction. It's really okay if you don't look at the price, but you will be shocked when you see it. Price reminder, the price of a super silicon ore mining machine is 10 million. This is simply too expensive. Fuck, no matter how expensive it is, I have to buy it to plant. Jiang Chen sighed and chose to buy it. After purchasing, Jiang Chen pulled the seeds to the planting window. Then he threw it to the flat ground in front of him, and soon the levee was rumbling and shaking. After the shaking sound came, a super factory rose from the ground soon. Jiang Chen originally thought that the super silicon ore mining machine was something like a tractor. But he never expected that this thing would be like a super large steel factory. There are high walls outside the factory, and the factory is full of various workshops. The workshops are full of various machines. The machines are very advanced, with various dashboards on them, and various transport carts. There are also long corridors connecting each workshop. There are sections of train-like things in the corridors, which are used to transport silicon ore or yellow sand. Looking at a super factory covering nearly 100 acres of land, Jiang Chen suddenly felt that the 10 million seemed to be worth it. Even if I sell scrap metal, I can still make a lot of money, Jiang Chen said happily, and suddenly the system rang again. System prompt. Silicon ore mining machines have been eliminated by the Interstellar Alliance due to their low cost and slow processing speed. If you buy more silicon ore mining machines now, there will be a large discount. After the system reminded him, Jiang Chen was simply screwed. Such an advanced thing was actually eliminated in the Interstellar Alliance. How advanced are the things in the Interstellar Alliance? But now is not the time to think about these things. Since the system is now discounted, Jiang Chen has to buy a few more. Thinking of this, Jiang Chen directly clicked on the large-scale purchase. He wanted to build at least 20 such silicon ore mining bases in the Shashan base in the southeast of Budo City. After clicking to confirm the purchase, the system price popped up soon. System prompt. You can spend 150 million yuan this time. Because players buy a large number of obsolete products of the Star Alliance, this system will give you a brick making machine for synthesizing yellow sand. After the system prompt, there was a ding dong sound, and Jiang Chen's seed pavilion had a new seed. Brick making machine. Jiang Chen was confused. Can the yellow sand in the desert be made into bricks? If the yellow sand in the desert can be made into bricks, then there is no doubt that this will be a cross-era technology. And with this brick making machine, is Jiang Chen still worried about not being able to deal with the piled up sand mountains? First, let's take a look at what this brick making machine is. Jiang Chen said, and directly clicked on the brick making machine seed. After the seed was clicked, the seed introduction popped up soon. Seed introduction. The desert brick making machine seed can change the unstable factors in the desert yellow sand and use some special materials as adhesives to directly turn the desert yellow sand into bricks of unknown specifications. After seeing this, Jiang Chen was surprised. He was going to get rich. This was definitely going to get rich. In the desert era, if Jiang Chen mastered the brick making technology, he will then transport all these bricks to the special zone, to Luoxia country and other places to sell them. This will be a very profitable business, especially the special zone. Now the construction center of the entire China is in the new province, and the construction center of the entire new province is in the special zone. There are at least hundreds of buildings under construction in the special zone almost every day. All these buildings need bricks. If Jiang Chen can monopolize the brick market in the entire new zone, then these brick factories alone can bring Jiang Chen tens of billions of income. Chapter 844, Desert Brick Factory. Jiang Chen calmed down. This was not the first time he had turned waste into treasure. Okay, let's plant a desert brick machine first, Jiang Chen said, and clicked on the price introduction to buy one. Price reminder, the desert brick machine is the first generation product of the Interstellar Alliance. Now the Interstellar Alliance has stopped producing desert brick machines. Therefore, if you buy a large number of desert brick machines, you will get a 50% discount. If you buy more than 10 desert brick machines, each desert brick machine will only cost 5 million yuan. After the system prompts, Jiang Chen sighed 5 million for a desert brick machine. To be honest, this is not cheap. In China, bricks are mainly made in some brick kilns. The cost of brick kilns is very low. Buy one first, Jiang Chen said, and clicked to buy. After the purchase, he chose to plant it next to the silicon ore mining machine. After the one-click planting was completed, a golden light flashed soon, and the whole earth trembled again. As the earth trembled, a brick factory that was smaller than a steel plant appeared in front of Jiang Chen. Looking at the brick factory that covered nearly 3 villages, Jiang Chen was speechless. Fuck, you call this a brick machine? Are you sure it's not a brick factory? Jiang Chen was wondering, and the system rang with a ding dong. System prompt, the Interstellar Alliance Super Brick Factory is equal to the area of China. The bricks they produce in a day can cover the entire earth. After the system prompt, Jiang Chen was stunned. What kind of thing needs so many bricks for such a large brick factory in a country? And this Interstellar Alliance organization, what kind of organization is it? To what extent has their technology developed? And why did this system fall to Earth? In addition, does the arrival of the Earth's desert era really have anything to do with them? Just thinking about it makes me feel that this world is simply terrifying. So I simply don't think about it. Doing the things in front of you is always more practical than thinking about it. The brick factory and the silicon ore factory are built. Next is the moment to witness the miracle. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, he walked to the silicon ore factory. The silicon ore factory has a main control room, which is filled with various screens. These screens are considered the lowest end products in the Interstellar Alliance, but on Earth at this moment, they are already very advanced and high definition screens. Even the screens produced in the glass town are not even 1/10 of this one. Let's take a look at the manual first. Jiang Chen clicked on the description of the system control workshop. Jiang Chen followed the description and opened the entire system, and soon the entire silicon ore mining factory was started. Various machines rumbled, and in less than a few minutes, the system popped up a prompt box again. Please pour the yellow sand that needs to be separated into the separation vehicle. After the system reminder, Jiang Chen went to check the separation vehicle bucket again. After searching for a long time, he found a huge warehouse in the corner of the factory. The entire warehouse is about the size of 10 rooms. After entering, the entire warehouse is a huge funnel, and under the funnel are all kinds of rotating gears. Oh my god, I have to find a way to transport the sand here. Thinking of this, Jiang Chen had to plant a super excavator again. He used the super excavator to dig a claw of sand and transported it to the warehouse funnel. Soon, the sand flowed from the funnel to various fine processing workshops. 10 minutes later, Jiang Chen found a row of workshops in the southeast corner of the silicon ore factory. He pushed open the door and walked into the workshop. Several large processing machines in the workshop were transporting pieces of silicon ore as big as thumb diamonds. These silicon ores were transported by belts and finally fell into a box at the back of the workshop. "It's really advanced," Jiang Chen said this and picked up pieces of ore. The purity of these silicon ores after fusion was very high, and it felt very special when touched. "Now that we have these silicon ores, Budo City will really be developed." After Jiang Chen finished speaking, he drove to the northernmost part of the factory. At the northernmost part of the factory, there were more than 10 tons of sand and soil piled up. These sands were all sands after the silicon ore was mined. Looking at these sands, Jiang Chen began to think again. Just transport it to the brick factory and try it out. Thinking of this, Jiang Chen drove the excavator again, dug up the processed sand and soil, and went straight to the brick factory. After rushing to the brick factory, Jiang Chen turned on the main switch of the brick factory and then poured the soil directly into the transport truck of the brick factory. The brick factory began to rumble, and Jiang Chen, who was bored, even went to each workshop to observe. These brick factories have special brick workshops. After the sand enters the brick workshop, it is filled with water. Then a certain amount of silicon ore is added as a binder, and bricks are made one by one. After the bricks are made, these bricks will be automatically transported to the baking workshop. The temperature of the brick kiln and the baking workshop is very high. After being fired at high temperature, these bricks will be transported to the cooling workshop. From the cooling workshop to the storage workshop, these bricks have been made. Jiang Chen looked at the time. It only took an hour to turn a pile of sand into a brick. This is really efficient. The electricity used by these two factories is also solar energy storage developed by themselves, so Jiang Chen doesn't even need to install electricity for him. And the brick factory also has its own pool, which is really killing two birds with one stone. After watching the first batch of bricks being manufactured, Jiang Chen decided to turn Budo City into the largest brick factory base in the Sahara region. He did it right away. Jiang Chen took his mobile phone and planted more than 50 silicon ore factories in the direction of the yellow sand. After planting, he planted nearly 100 brick factories around the silicon ore factory. A silicon ore factory can process millions of tons of yellow sand a day, and a brick factory can produce tens of thousands of bricks a day. With these companies, Jiang Chen no longer has to worry about not being able to solve the problem of sandstorms. In fact, he should worry about what to do if the sandstorms don't come. Okay, the brick factory is built, and the next step is to build a corresponding town. These brick factories and silicon ore factories need people to manage them, and they also need to establish a special company to sell them globally. Therefore, Jiang Chen plans to build a town at the foot of the sand hill. The town is not very big, and can only accommodate 30,000 to 20,000 people. After the town was built, the silicon ore base was completely completed. After the silicon ore and brick factory towns were built, Jiang Chen headed west again. He wanted to build a ceramic base and a high-end silicon chip industrial park to the west of Budo City. Driving to the west of Budo City, because it is away from the desert, there is very little environment, and it is difficult to see piles of sand dunes around. This helped Jiang Chen solve many problems, such as choosing resistance, building factories, building dormitories, and building parking lots. Jiang Chen had a series of mature methods. After Jiang Chen built everything, another month passed. Chapter 845. A lean camel is bigger than a horse. From the beginning of spring to the middle of spring, Jiang Chen spent all his time on the construction of Budo City. Fortunately, these times were not wasted. In the middle of spring, Jiang Chen's silicon ore base, brick factory, ceramic base, silicon wafer and other enterprises were all put into use. The production of these enterprises solved the employment problem of nearly 1 million people in Budo City. In particular, the rapid expansion of ceramic processing enterprises recruited thousands of employees from Budo City every day. At the end of spring, just as Jiang Chen was about to go to the oil city for the final construction, Williams called him for help again. After the call was connected, Williams said pleadingly, "Brother Jiang, my god of the desert, thank you for bringing new hope to the people of Budu City. I didn't want to trouble you again, but I encountered a big trouble, and this trouble is only you and the whole sofa who can help me solve it. Different beliefs are really terrible. I'm not a god, just tell me what problems you encounter." Jiang Chen was very busy at the end of spring. As time passed little by little, the United States on the other side of the earth gradually stabilized. After the United States stabilized, the development problems in front of them became troubling. The new US leadership team. Originally, their enemy was Russia, but now they are targeting the Sahara region. So an economic war started quietly. The new president, Claw, took the lead in proposing economic sanctions against the Sahara region. This economic sanction includes raising tariffs on US products in the Sahara region. Many companies in the Sahara region have close ties with some global companies in the United States. For example, the automotive glass, mobile phone screens, and military and civilian glass on various armored vehicles produced by Sahara Glass Town. In addition, there is the Sahara Steel Group. The Sahara Steel Group is even more spread across various automotive machinery equipment and precision electronic products in the United States. Raising tariffs will invisibly cause the sales of Sahara Steel and Sahara Glass to plummet. In addition, in the pharmaceutical industry, the Sahara Pharmaceutical Group also has a large market in the United States. If high tariffs are imposed, this will also invisibly increase the cost of the pharmaceutical group. Raising tariffs is one aspect. In order to suppress the Sahara region in all aspects, the United States has also proposed a ban on the export of various types of food supplies to the Sahara region. The lifeline of the Sahara region lies in food. Now the beef, pork, chicken and duck in the Sahara region can achieve self-sufficiency. Even its milk and various meat products can be sold to China. However, in terms of food crops such as rice and wheat, the Sahara region relies entirely on imports. For soybeans and rice, the main imports for the Sahara region are the United States, Australia and other Western countries. Therefore, once the coalition led by the United States cuts off the food exports in the Sahara region, this will cause the prices in the Sahara region to double. After the introduction of several policies to cut off the source of funds, the Sahara region has entered a very embarrassing situation. Just a few days ago, the price of food in the Sahara region skyrocketed, and hotels and restaurants also increased their prices. With the price increase of hotels and restaurants, all walks of life in the Sahara have entered a price increase mode. Therefore, the cost of tourists coming is getting higher and higher. Compared with the same period, the tourism industry in the Sahara region has declined by as much as 10%. Brother Jiang, our ceramic products and silicon ore industries have already been put into production. The first batch of products has not been sold out, and we have several more batches of products in stock. Our warehouse is almost full. I ask Brother Jiang to allocate resources and help us sell all these things. If you only produce, but don't sell them, you will not make money in the end. Everyone understands this. But for a newly established business, it is not an easy task to sell all these things. Speaking of selling things, Jiang Chen nodded. Okay, I'll take care of this. Now you should lead people and start production as soon as possible, especially small ceramic products that can be sold to tourists. By the way, silicon ore can be made into glass, and it can also be made into other things. You can contact the Sahara group later. They have desert lavender. You can create a batch of small glass bottles that can hold lavender so that you can sell them. Later, you can ask the designer to design a batch of internet celebrity products and send them to me. I will help you sell them. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Williams hung up the phone in a hurry and ran to work. After hanging up the phone, Jiang Chen began to think about how to stabilize the prices in the Sahara region. Let's call Secretary Fang. If we want to stabilize the prices now, we must import grain from China. China and Southeast Asia are both grain production bases. If Jiang Chen can open up the grain routes in these places, then Jiang Chen will definitely be able to stabilize the prices in the Sahara region. In the afternoon, the wind blew on my body, and it was a little hot. In late spring, the temperature in the desert region is slowly rising. At this moment, Jiang Chen was meeting with several ambassadors from the member states of the Saudi Arabian Council at the Peach Blossom Spring Scenic Area. The ambassadors walked through the peach trees, and they all gave a thumbs up to the beauty of the Sahara Scenic Area. Secretary Fang, this is Jiang. Are you free now? After the call was connected, Secretary Fang on the other end of the phone was in a meeting, but when he saw that it was Jiang Chen's call, he hurriedly picked up the phone. It's your call. You have to be free, even if you are not. Jiang, just tell me what's going on. In fact, Secretary Fang could roughly guess the purpose of Jiang Chen's call. At this moment, the meeting that Secretary Fang was attending was also an internal meeting to discuss how to help the Sahara region withstand this crisis. Okay, then I won't beat around the bush. You know that most of the quantities I purchased were transferred from the agricultural enterprises of the coalition forces. Now they have closed my sales channels, and the United States has also put pressure on some countries in Southeast Asia. Now some small countries in Southeast Asia dare not sell rice to me. So you know that the prices in the special zone have risen to an unacceptable level. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Secretary Fang nodded and said, I have heard about this matter. You mean you want to increase imports, right? Let me tell you this, because of the influence of the desert, we have almost no harvest on the land in the northwest. In addition, we have also developed a large amount of fertile land in the northeast central China and southern China. However, due to the influence of sandstorms, the harvests in recent years have been particularly poor. So our current food reserves can only maintain our own price level. After Secretary Fang finished speaking, Jiang Chen didn't know what to say for a while. Jiang Chen also knew that Secretary Fang was telling the truth. However, Jiang Chen believed that a lean camel is bigger than a horse. If they let the upper house hang a batch of food for him, they would definitely be able to do it. Well, it seems that we have to grow our own food. We can no longer sell grass seeds to New Zealand this spring. I plan to plant a piece of farmland in the desert so that I can solve my own price problem. Chapter 846 Food Crisis. Jiang Chen has always had the idea of building farmland in the Sahara region. But Jiang Chen knows that the cost of building farmland in the Sahara region is much greater than importing from other countries. So until the last moment, Jiang Chen still wants you to turn the Sahara region into the world's economic and financial enterprise center, rather than an agricultural base. Just as Jiang Chen was about to hang up the phone, Secretary Fang shouted hurriedly, wait. Everything can be discussed. Although our grain reserves are not much, we can also allocate some to you. But to be honest, with our current grain reserves, we can only barely help you for 2 years. After 2 years, you will have to find a way to get food from other places. Compared with food, Shangjing cares more about grass seeds. Because of the war, this winter storm is stronger than ever. This has caused the large grasslands planted outside the new province to become deserts. After the arrival of spring, the wind blowing from the northwest raised large tracts of yellow sand, all of which poured into the northwest. The northwest has become a place where wind and sand are rampant, and Shangjing and other places are also affected. So the problem that China urgently needs to solve now is to buy a large amount of grass. They must green all the deserts outside the new province. After greening, they can ensure that China can resist the next desert attack. Okay, 2 years is 2 years. I will solve it myself after 2 years. Jiang Chen hung up the phone after he finished speaking. After hanging up the phone, Jiang Chen called Luosha again. During the call, Jiang Chen promised to exchange grass seeds for Luosha's soybeans. When the diplomats of the Sand Committee came out of Taoyuan village, Jiang Chen finished calling you again. You is one of the victim countries of the United States. They are the most anti-US, so Jiang Chen plans to import rice from you. At the same time, Jiang Chen promised to help you build the world's most advanced network to enhance U's competitiveness in developing countries. After solving the imports of various crops such as rice, soybeans and wheat, Jiang Chen will call the Sahara Agricultural and Grain Management Center. Now all the food in Sahara is controlled by several super companies in the Sahara region that do agricultural product import and export. These companies are basically super multinational companies led by the United States and other countries. The sharp rise in food prices in the Saharan region this time is also closely related to their speculation. After the call was connected, Director Zhang of the Agricultural and Grain Management Center personally answered the phone. Brother Jiang, do you have any instructions? The current Agricultural and Grain Management Center has been jointly reported by many merchants who want to control food prices. However, due to the shortage of food, the Food Management Center has no way to lower the price of food. Within 2 days, you will be in charge of establishing the Sahara Agricultural and Food Group. Within a month, adjust the grain price to the standard of 1 year ago. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Director Zhang shook his head and said, Brother Jiang, we really can't do this. Establishing the Sahara Agricultural and Food Group is nothing more than registering a company. A shell company has no way to stabilize grain prices. Besides, if we use coercive means to adjust the price to 1 year ago, the nearly 20 companies that sell grain in our Sahara region will all lose all their money. Most of these companies are multinational companies. If we offend them, it will really be of no benefit to us. Now the Sahara region is gradually attracting companies from all over the world to join. What they value is the stability of public security, freedom, and democracy in this place. If Jiang Chen and his team use political power to deal with these companies, then other multinational companies that are waiting and watching will definitely give up investing in the Sahara region. After Director Zhang finished speaking, Jiang Chen looked at the phone. Director Zhang on the other end said, I will give them a chance. You don't have to worry about this. Go to Future City to register the Sahara Agricultural and Food Group in the next 2 days. In the evening, send people to China, you and Luosha to sign the agreement. After the agreement is signed, tell the supervisor to give the green light to all grain transport vehicles. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Director Zhang saw that Jiang Chen was really determined to move this cancer on Sahara, and he became very excited. After all, their income depends to a large extent on the scores given to them by the people. With the current reputation of the Agricultural and Food Management Center, if they can get a bonus during the Chinese New Year, it will be amazing. Okay, I'll arrange someone to do it now. After hanging up the phone, several people from the Sand Committee came over to greet Jiang Chen again. Beautiful. This is such a magical land. I think I should personally promote this place to my motherland. Let our people come here to travel, and let them feel the charm of technology here. Mr. Jiang, I really hope that the Sahara region can have its own airport. I asked my friends to randomly interview some people in Abra. They said that it was too troublesome to come here. They must apply for a Chinese passport and have to transfer in China. So I think, if international routes can be opened here, it will definitely be a qualitative leap for the Sahara region. After several ambassadors finished speaking, Jiang Chen smiled and replied, I have already planned the airport. I believe it won't take long before you can take a super plane back home when you return home. Wow, that's great. A group of people talked and laughed and left the Teohuoyuan scenic spot. 5 days later, Williams called Jiang Chen, and more than a dozen souvenirs designed by them were officially launched. In the morning, Jiang Chen decided to give this day to Budo City. So he got up early and started his new day's live broadcast in Budo City. Opening the live broadcast room, Jiang Chen found that he had not broadcast live for 3 or 4 months. Hello everyone, I'm Jiang Chen who loves farming. Today I will bring you a 1-day live broadcast. Jiang Chen's live broadcast room was quickly flooded with comments. Jiang Hu Night, host, how are you? Seeing that you have started a live broadcast, I know that everything is fine over there. Shiana Langzi, host, you are really a hero. Bugeopu, who likes to make trouble, was finally sent to prison by you. Big lazy bug, yes, this is simply unimaginable. The American people finally sent this war criminal to prison. Oni Shark, the US economy has suffered a Waterloo in the past 6 months. Now among the world's top 500 companies, American companies are no longer the only ones. Clay, the top 10 of the world's top 500 companies are from the United States. According to the latest statistics, the Sahara region accounts for 4 of the top 10 of the world's top 500 companies. Running dog, Sahara companies are indeed developing fiercely. Sahara Group has ranked first in the world. This is the first time that a small local company has ranked so high, except for American companies. Liu Kaiangxi, it is no exaggeration to say that Sahara Group ranks first. If you look at the companies under the Sahara Group, you will know how terrifying it is. Chapter 847. The Fortune 500 are all brothers. A group of people were chatting enthusiastically in Jiang Chen's live broadcast room. Jiang Chen was very familiar with this lively atmosphere. He had not felt it with this mentality for a long time. Is Sahara Group already ranked first in the world? I have never paid attention to this question. Jiang Chen has paid the most attention to people's livelihood in recent times, especially in the past 2 years, so he has shifted his attention from the north to the south. The man really has too many things to worry about, whether it is Malacca City or Budo City, or the young army of the Khanate abandoned by the Rosa state in the south. These are all objects of his concern. Running bare, it has been ranked first for a long time. Look at which companies are under the Sahara Group. Sahara New Energy Regeneration Group, Sahara Communication Group, Sahara Power Group, Sahara Tourism Construction Management Group, Sahara Construction Group, Mojiang Investment Group, Sahara Seed Group, Sahara Livestock Group. These are all top super companies. This is just the top 10 companies under the Sahara Group, which does not include Sahara Shop, Flowers and several other billion-level companies. If we separate the top 10 companies, then the top 100 of the world's top 500 companies are basically from the Sahara region, more than 1/3. Southern Economic News. It can be said that, if the Sahara Group is split, at least 20 companies in the world's top 500 will be kicked out. Shenzhen Economic News. The economy of the Sahara region is indeed not to be underestimated. Sahara Automobile Group has squeezed into the world's 5th place, and Sahara Pharmaceutical Group is ranked 12th in the world's top 500. Sahara Oil Group ranks 4th in the world's top 500, and Sahara Intelligent Communication Group ranks 6th in the world's top 500. Wanjiang Food Group ranks 234th in the world's top 500. Even the Sahara Rail Transit Group, which was established not long ago, has squeezed into the world's top 500 at 430th place with its unique advantages. Southeast Asian News. These are all state-owned enterprises you are talking about. Some private enterprises in the Sahara region were originally among the world's top 500. Now their rankings have moved up a lot. In addition, there are super companies like the Sahara Housing Management and Construction Committee that do not participate in the ranking. Otherwise, it is estimated that only the Sahara Group can compete with the overlord level things like the Housing Construction Management Committee. A group of people summarized Jiang Chen's companies. After reading their summary, Jiang Chen finally made a clear judgment on his subordinate companies. Thank you for your recognition of the Sahara economy. Today I will tell you about the content of my live broadcast. Today I will mainly introduce you to the special products and scenic spots of Budo City. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, his live broadcast room suddenly started to brush comments again. Button times. Anchor. Don't be hypocritical here. Everyone knows that Budo City is the orphan left by your old enemy, Washington Daily. The growth of companies in the Sahara region is all stepped on the blood of the United States. This war was also caused by the Sahara region, so the war reparations to China, Rosa and Aachen cannot be paid by us alone. Eagle Daily. Yes, the Sahara region must bear at least half of the war reparations. A group of people set the pace, and soon the people of the coalition countries that were deeply in debt crisis began to attack Jiang Chen again. Sand Sea Holy Land. Our country has sacrificed thousands of people in the Sahara region, and we have not dropped nuclear bombs on the country of Rosa. Why should we bear the war reparations? Australian Kangaroo. We used to be a prosperous, stable, and wealthy place. Because of the war reparations, look at what our country has become. Xi Jinping, we are the worst. Not only do we have to bear war reparations, but we are also caught in a bigger war. I don't know when this damn war will end. Park Dasky, I want to thank the leader here. When that group of militants provoked a war with the Sahara region, I have been opposing it. Now a bigger war has started, and half of the land of the frost-tide country has fallen. The war has made me lose many relatives. If it weren't for Salman City taking in us war refugees, I don't believe I can still be alive. Omeral, because of this war, and because of the compensation of up to trillions of dollars, this has plunged the economies of more than a dozen coalition countries into a huge crisis. Among them, the depreciation of the US dollar, the euro and the Australian dollar is the most severe. The Chinese yuan, as a currency with stable value, has returned to the world stage. So don't blame the rise of the East, blame yourselves. Sad butcher, you know nothing. They rely on water hoard capital. Most of the coalition countries that attacked the Sahara region are in the arms business. If the world is peaceful everywhere, who will they sell their weapons to? The defeat of the coalition this time directly caused many arms companies to lose orders. Look at the arms companies in the United States and France. How many of them went bankrupt overnight? David Wilson, many of them went bankrupt, especially now that the Sahara region has joined forces to form the Zionga National Alliance and the Desert Alliance. After they united, they are willing to advance and retreat together for peace. This has reduced the purchase of arms from Western countries in many of their countries. My brother is a researcher at a military weapons research institute in the United States. Now he has resigned and joined the Sahara Military University Research Institute in Future City, Penguin in the North Pacific. My uncle also went to the Sahara Arms Research Institute. He said that the Sahara region manufactures weapons to protect more people. The United States makes more money, so he doesn't want to stay in the United States anymore. He wants to do something for humanity. Button Daily, do something for humanity? You have been deceived by the media in the Sahara region. Especially Facebook and YouTube in the Sahara region. These two video websites are simply running dogs of Sahara. Wall Street Times, I don't believe they will treat the Afghans as the news says. Even the United States in this world cannot invest so much money in the economic and livelihood construction of the Afghans. They will not be so kind, because their development focus must be the surrounding cities centered on the future city. The focus of the discussion among the group of people was still on Jiang Chen's attitude towards the Afghans. No Westerner believed that Jiang Chen would be so good to an extreme nation living in an extreme desert. In their eyes, this group of people should not exist in human history. Okay, everyone has discussed almost everything. I don't care what others think of me. I just like to do what I should do seriously. The live broadcast will start now. Please do not discuss anything unrelated to my live broadcast in my live broadcast room. Okay, now let me lead everyone to take a look at the latest construction situation in Budo City. Chapter 848, The Kingdom of Women. In the early morning, Budo City was shrouded in morning mist. Jiang Chen regretted that they could get up earlier and take everyone to see the sunrise in Budo City scenic area. Fortunately, he did not miss the morning mist in Budo City. The sun gradually came out, and the mist gradually dissipated. A city and the oasis appeared in front of people. This city is not as tall as Future City, nor as strange as Canny Mountain City, but the noisy streets in the early morning suddenly pulled people into the atmosphere of life. This is Budo City. It has been less than a year since its establishment. The people living in the city are mainly the people of the Khanate supported by the United States. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, he led everyone to stroll on the spacious streets. There were small breakfast vendors on both sides of the street. In the early morning, those children who were going to school, or those who were going to work hurriedly ate something on the street, and then rushed to the bus stop in a hurry. On a relatively prosperous street, after strolling for a full half an hour, people discovered a very novel thing. Eagle catches chicken. Host, why are there only women and children everywhere? Where have all the young men gone? North wind blows, not to mention young men. Have you noticed that even old men in their 40s or 50s are nowhere to be seen? Thunderbolt from the blue. Damn, why does this place feel like a land of women? David Jones, I heard that there are many dark factories in Malacca. Host, did you arrest the young people in Budo City and make them work illegally? After a group of people finished talking, Jiang Chen also sighed. He has always paid more attention to Budo City, precisely because of this problem. Whether I have taken them to Malacca to work illegally, I hope you can investigate it yourself. As for where the young people in Budo City have gone, I think everyone should ask the coalition forces or the United States. Anyway, according to our statistics, the coalition forces drove the young people of the Khanate to serve as their cannon fodder. As a result, nearly 2 million young and middle-aged people in the Khanate died on the battlefield. After the men died, what should their families do? The United States did not give an answer, and the United States and other coalition forces did not give an answer. Finally, in the spirit of humanitarianism, I took them in. Jiang Chen finished speaking, and soon the media questioned it again. Fran News, according to surveys and statistics, many people of your ethnic group are engaged in the pornographic service industry all over the world. You took in these refugee widows. What are your plans? Are you going to sell them all over the world, or develop this industry locally? Mida, I like these Asians. I booked 2 Asians yesterday. It's really cool. Anchor, leave me a few good looking ones when the time comes. Jiang Chen was very angry when he saw these people's messages. Block this person's account later. Fran News, your country is also one of the war criminals who participated in the extermination of the men of the Khanate. Now you want me to send the families of those who once worked for you to do that kind of thing, which I don't understand at all. In addition, I want to tell you that the laws in the Sahara region are strict. If you dare to challenge our bottom line in the Sahara region, then the laws in the Sahara region will definitely make you feel what it means to live a life worse than death. In addition, the people of the Khanate will always be the strongest. You can destroy their homes, you can kill their families, but they will still live. They will see the moment of your death with their own eyes. Just wait and see. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, he left the streets of Budu City and drove towards the Budu City ceramic base. When he arrived at the ceramic base, at this moment, a ceramic base covering an area close to the size of a small town was already full of workers. Most of these workers were women, and there were even many children under the age of 15. Looking at those busy figures, someone soon questioned them. European Human Rights Association, why are there so many child laborers here? We call on you to stop using child labor immediately. Button times, no place with a civilized nation will use child labor, nor will it use a large number of women. Dadao Ocean, fuck, are you media or idiots? They don't work, so you support them? Bifang Lengshan, damn, you idiots, you killed their men. You don't let their children work, and you don't care about them. Are you going to let them die in the desert? Da Kingshan, holy mother. Strongly call on the coalition to compensate these people. This is the ceramic base I built for Budo City. I will take everyone to see their ceramic products. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, he walked into a circular ceramic exhibition center. Brother Jiang, thank you for coming. Thank you so much. Williams was helping to arrange the exhibits in the exhibition hall. He placed a very small vase with Afghan ethnic characteristics in the center of the exhibition. I will definitely do what I promised you. Okay, Williams, come and say hello to everyone. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, the bearded Williams saw that Jiang Chen really broadcast live to promote his ceramic products. He was so moved that he burst into tears. He had never seen such a trustworthy person before, and this person was once his enemy. It was this enemy who was eager to help him and redeem him. How could he not be moved? Thank you. Thank you everyone. Thank you leader. I'm a sinner of the US coalition. Williams couldn't help crying when he said this. When he thought of the tens of millions of orphans behind him, he felt like there was a thorn in his throat and couldn't sit still. Okay, I'm not here to ask you to repent. Hurry up and introduce your ceramic base to everyone. Whether the refugees in Budo City can really live a happy life depends on this live broadcast. Jiang Chen patted Williams on the shoulder. After he finished speaking, Williams stopped crying, wiped his tears and said, I will definitely let them live a good life. Williams walked to a vase and said, this is a ceramic vase with the characteristics of our Rahan ethnic group. It is the work of a 15-year-old boy. This vase is not expensive, only 15 yuan, 15 yuan, maybe just a pack of cigarettes for you, but for this little boy, it may be his hope to survive. After Williams finished speaking, Jiang Chen asked where the little boy was. Not long after, a little boy hurried in from outside the exhibition hall. She was dressed in rags, and his body was covered with mud, and his hands were also covered with mud. When he walked into the exhibition hall, the little boy lowered his head and shivered. Because when he first came in, someone told him not to say the wrong thing, otherwise he would be fired. Bear of the North, what a lovely little boy. Look how bright his eyes are. Eternal melody, he is too thin. You can tell at a glance that he is definitely malnourished. French news, if you abuse child labor like this, I think we will launch an even crazier war. Chapter 849. The Lonely God of Death. Jiang Chen ignored everyone. He looked at the little boy and said, "What's your name? Can you tell me about your vase?" The little boy lowered his head and didn't dare to move. Williams walked to his side, stretched out his big hand, and held his little hand tightly. "Jiang Zioi, why are you silent? Haven't you always admired the leader? You changed your last name to the leader's last name because you want to be a great person like the leader. Now the leader is in front of you. Answer him quickly." After Williams finished speaking, the little boy raised his head timidly. "My name is Jiang Zioi, and this is the vase I made. The painting on the vase is my father, mother, and my brother and sister. We eat bread together. Eat bread." The little boy lowered his head again after speaking. He raised his muddy hands and rubbed his eyes. He tried not to let his tears fall. "My vase only costs 15 yuan. I ask everyone to buy it. My sister hasn't eaten for 2 days." The little boy said to play, and Jiang Chen bent down. He patted the little boy on the shoulder and said, "Your vase is so beautiful. I like it very much. Can you make a few more and sell them to me?" After Jiang Chen finished speaking, the little boy suddenly raised his head. After receiving Jiang Chen's praise, he was instantly full of confidence. "Yes, but I can only give you one." "Why?" "My mother said that in the future, whenever I meet the leader, I must never ask for money. I have made more than a dozen vases, but I haven't sold them yet." The old man outside the door just now said that if you buy a vase, I can use the money I earn to buy raw materials and make one for you for free. After the little boy finished speaking, Jiang Chen rubbed his head and hugged the little boy in his arms. Williams turned around. He didn't dare to look at the little boy. He knew that the little boy's father had died in Kalburli in the war, and the little boy's grandparents also died in the escape. When the little boy's family fled to Budo City, the little boy's mother was hit by a shell again. So the little boy became the only pillar of the family, and he was also responsible for taking care of 2 brothers aged 7 or 8 and a 5-year-old sister. Just a dozen days ago, when Budo City was recruiting workers, Williams specifically recruited him to the ceramic factory. "Everything will be fine," Jiang Chen said, and the little boy bowed deeply to Jiang Chen. The little boy pointed to the sky on the vase and said, "Leader, when I grow up, I will also become the sun in the sky like you, and always bring light to us Ahan people." Jiang Chen picked up the vase and cried as he looked at the childish painting on the vase. The name of the vase was written under the vase, "Happiness." For the little boy, being able to sit in the sun and eat bread with his family is the happiest thing in the world. But how many children in Budo City are so happy? There are only a few with a population of tens of millions. I hope all my fans can buy a vase like this. The vase is not expensive, but it is because you buy it that you can let the children of thousands of families have money to buy bread. What they ask for is very simple, a piece of bread to survive. It's that simple. After the little boy left, Williams explained the story behind the little boy to everyone. He showed everyone what the little boy looked like when he first came to Budo City. At that time, the little boy was timid. He tied up his 2 brothers and a sister with a rope for fear that they would get separated. He was holding the skinny and dying little sister in his arms. Because of lack of water, his face was terribly pale. He kept walking on the street like this. When he saw people, he would ask, "Have you seen my father?" But at that time, the streets were full of such refugees. Who could have seen anyone's father? Later, when Williams took pictures of them again, the little boy tied up 2 boys with a rope and carried a little girl on his back. At that time, the city of Budo had gradually stabilized. He went door to door to beg. After getting the food, he ate it first. At that time, Williams asked him, "Why don't you give the food to your brothers and sisters?" The little guy said, "I have to survive first, otherwise they will all die." Williams asked him why there was one less person, and the little boy didn't cry. He just said indifferently, "Starved to death." After that, the little boy walked towards a trash can. The last time Williams saw the little boy was at a blood station. At that time, there were many seriously injured refugees from the south, and all hospitals were short of blood. The little boy rolled up his sleeves and sold a syringe of blood, and he wanted to sell more. The medical staff didn't dare to draw blood for him, so he overturned the table. Several people arrested him, and Williams hurriedly stopped him. Finally, Williams knew that his brother was sick, and he had no money to buy medicine. This was the only way to keep his brother alive. Later, the war was completely over. Because of the war in recent years, the economy in the Sahara region was in a downturn. Jiang Chen could only restore order in Kari City and Malacca first, so he couldn't take care of Budo City for a while. However, at that time, Williams could buy some food through the fundraising of friends. So he let the little boy settle in a small house. After listening to the little boy's story, many people in front of the screen shed tears. Compared with the little boy in the war, they are really much luckier. Mermaid in the fairy tale, I'm sorry. We have never had any intuitive impression of war. It was you who let us know the cruelty of war. I hope the world can be peaceful forever. Pineapple, I want to help them. Is there any special donation channel? Waves, nothing to say, buy 100 vases. Where can I buy them? Dongfang Hong, I want to donate. Anchor, give me an account where I can directly transfer the money to them. I don't want to go to any charity. My money is also hard-earned money. Yuhan, I just saw that Sahara Shop and Taobao.com have already started selling. Lua Lorda Fang, brothers, let's not say anything. Taobao.com is going. Zio Fiu, let's go. After listening to the little boy's story, Jiang Chen sighed. Life is like this. No matter how difficult it is, they must persevere. Now all Jiang Chen can do is to live broadcast quickly and make Budo City better. Thinking of this, Jiang Chen took everyone to continue the tour. After he led everyone to visit the ceramic exhibition hall, he led everyone to the glass exhibition hall. The glass exhibition hall is on the 3rd floor. Just entering the 3rd floor, the lights are a little dim. In the dim corridor, the windows on both sides of the road shine with a little bit of crystal light. Shiana Hashifankeo, where is this? Little turtle, look, it's really beautiful. Jiang Chen walked to a window, and there was a half-person high tower in front of the kitchen. This tower is scaled according to the future tower. The tower body is made of crystal glass, and a lot of fluorescent powder is placed in the glass. In the night of Hunan, the fluorescent powder lights up, and the whole future tower sparkles, which is extremely beautiful. This exhibition area is a scaled version of various buildings with characteristics of the Sahara region in the glass handmade market in Budo City. If you like Sahara-style buildings, you can buy a few as decorations at home. Of course, in addition to these things, we also have some glass products with various ethnic characteristics. There are also some mythological characters of ethnic minorities, which are also included in these ceramic products. I hope everyone can actively buy them. Every product you buy may feed a child. Chapter 850, World Class Toy Production Base. After Jiang Chen introduced the ceramic and glass products exhibition base, he took everyone to the glass handicraft production base. When they arrived at the handicraft production base, they found that most of the people there were children between 10 and 15 years old. Seeing those busy children, sweating profusely as they moved glass products out of the furnace, everyone felt distressed. Caterpillar, they are really pitiful. They have to do adult work at such a young age. It's sad to think about it. Frank News, we strongly condemn the use of child labor. If the Sahara region does not give up the use of child labor, we will recommend that the United States impose the most severe military sanctions on the Sahara region. Great Eagle Empire News, it is the most shameful act in the world. We have never regretted launching a war of liberation against the Sahara region. I think our people will definitely support and work together to liberate the Sahara region again. Several Western media condemned Jiang Chen, and Jiang Chen was very angry. If you ask me if I have ever seen a beast, then I can tell you now that these Western media are a bunch of beasts. You keep saying that you refuse to use child labor, but I want to ask you, if you don't kill their parents, do they still need to go out to work? You are not suggesting another war. Anyway, you have already killed their parents. If you kill them all, then your justice will be achieved. If the justice of you Westerners is to eliminate all people, then I can tell you without hesitation, I'm not afraid, just come at me. Jiang Chen roared, and soon Sahara Live directly blocked the accounts of those Western media. Shiana Langzi, I find it funny to see these Westerners. They remind me of the joke of why not eat meat. A ginkgo tree. Yes, these people who keep blaming the Sahara region, you should really lend a hand. to solve the refugee problem in Budo City. Little cube. They make a mess for themselves, throw it to others, and point fingers at others. Such people are simply ridiculous. Jiang Chen walked up to a child who was making a glass crystal ball, and the child saluted Jiang Chen. Little friend, do you like it here? Do you like working here? After Jiang Chen asked, the child nodded hurriedly. I like it here. I can earn 50 yuan a day here. When we were in the south before, our family could not earn 50 yuan. Then what will you do if the coalition forces come to liberate you again? When the coalition forces were mentioned, the little boy clenched his fists. I will fight them to the end. All the answers are self-evident. Children never lie. They always know who is good to them, and they will get close to them. Work hard. Budo City is destined to sacrifice one generation in exchange for the happy life of the next generation. This is the so-called democracy, freedom, and liberation brought to them by the United States. Okay, I don't want to say more. I just hope that a person with a real conscience, whether from the east or the west, will lend a helping hand to save them. Of course, I also hope that the United States will really take a look at the young army living on the land of the Khanate. They need your help. If you think you are the most democratic and greatest country and region in the world, you should really do something. Instead of just disrupting their order of life and selling weapons to them. After leaving the glass factory, Jiang Chen rushed straight to the new development zone of Budo City. The new development zone of Budo City is located in the east of Budo City. When Jiang Chen arrived at the place, more than a dozen companies had already settled in the development zone. Now, for various reasons, there are many companies that have moved from China's Luoxia country and other countries and regions to Sahara. Jiang Chen settled most of these companies in the north, and the factories that needed a large number of workers would settle them in Kari City. The last batch of companies left will be resettled in Malacca City first. Because strictly speaking, Malacca City is Jiang Chen's obedient people, and Budo City was Jiang Chen's former enemy. So Jiang Chen could only make his own people rich before he could make the descendants of his former enemies rich. Therefore, most of the companies that were finally moved to Budo City were slightly polluting companies. These companies were more or less harmful to the workers' health. However, Jiang Chen could solve the problem of corporate pollution. He just needed to let the Sahara Energy Regeneration Group build an energy production station here. Regarding the problem of harm to the workers' health, this is much better than letting the refugees in Budo City starve to death. After all, some chemical companies are all over the world. Others can accept it, and this group of refugees can accept it even more. This is a comprehensive development zone that can accommodate thousands of companies. I plan to double the size of this development zone within 5 years. So I hope that fans who watch my live broadcast, if you are willing to invest in Budo City, I hope you will hurry up. If you invest in Budo City now, we will provide you with 3 years of tax exemption. In addition, the land in the development zone of Budo City is extremely cheap, and its workers' wages are also extremely low. Generally, a worker in the Sahara region has a daily wage of at least 300 yuan, but in Budo City, you only need to pay 80 yuan. In addition to these low costs, we will also open up the largest sales market for you. The number of tourists in the Sahara region alone reaches 1 billion per year. If you produce some tourist souvenirs and the like, this sales market is absolutely huge. Jiang Chen finished speaking, and soon some small companies that make toys and tourist souvenirs were tempted. Caterpillar Toy Factory Fatty Wang, really? I just want to invest in a branch factory somewhere else. I need female workers. If the Caterpillar dolls I produce can enter the market in the Sahara region, then I'm willing to invest in a toy factory in Budo City that can provide employment for 500 people. Bengsheng Toys, I would like to ask how much the annual rent of the land there is? Story Toys, yes, tell us how much the rent is. If possible, I will also invest in a toy factory there. Southern Sports, we can also give some small sports equipment to Budo City to produce, and ask the price. In an instant, Jiang Chen's live broadcast room was flooded with various toy farms and ragdoll factories. Jiang Chen suddenly saw a business opportunity. If he built the world's largest toy production base here, what kind of world would it be? End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.